Oh, well, hey, everybody. Guess what? It's Valentine's Day. Will you be mine? That's weird. Never mind. Most of you, I don't want to be my Valentine. Ah, what the hell? Every one of you. Who wants to be my Valentine? Because I didn't buy Rosie anything because I'm a terrible person and I'm going to get pillow therapy tonight. That's going to happen. Look, look, look. I got Jeff Morton hanging out. Look, he's like, yep, throat chops. It's coming. You know it is. Just pow. It's going to happen. Let's see. Dude, we got so many people in chat right now. Like, it's weird. Like, the chat's been going for like the last hour. So that's cool. Let's see. Dennis Lewis is here. Oh my, he hit the button already.
Right.
Cooper's Adventure starring Huckleberry Hound said, hit the like button, slackers. Love you. Just love you, man. I'm just gonna say it right now. Bear Hunter said he smashed it. You got this. Uh, okay. Jason's gay cruise captain said, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Jason and I are having a good time. See, I'm not even sure what's going on. TK, what's up, buddy? How you doing,
Hey,
brother?
man.
Timothy Ransom's up in here. Good Lord. Oh, wait. Who was first today? Wait, I see Jonah Green is here. I'm scrolling back, and the first one today, by the way, just so we get it, Wimpy McPope Man with a million excuses first, and that was at 4:54 p.m. Eastern time
Yep.
in the chat. Just saying, was there. It happened. Oh, Dennis was close. Dennis was shortly thereafter at 4:56, so he was close, man.
Yeah.
I mean, for real. Coach's media empire crumbling was present back at 4:58. Not sure if you're still here or not, but hey, cool. Wait, who else I see? Coach's ugly sweater said idiots everywhere. Just saying, true story. I'm with you. I agree. Narcs, I'll put you out of service. A million laughs. Let's see. Scrolling 41 Magnum. Welcome. We are not those guys. Okay.
All right, man.
Uh, hey.
Hey, what?
This is not true. I look. I just did 3,800 miles this week. As a matter of fact, I did 3,884 miles. My lovely wife and I did. We worked Wednesday night till last night. We got home at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
People just think I don't work because I'm home I make sure I'm home every Tuesday to do the show. But that's cool. I mean, whatever. I don't mind. Say what you want to say. Timothy Ransom, good to see you, buddy. Oh, James Vaughn. Hello. Ken Kelly. Breaking news, Charley works. Well, a teensy a little bit anyway. There you go. Breaking news. It happened right here. You saw it first. Council coach said, love this place. We love you here. I'm just saying. Craig Hutchinson, good evening. Paul Phillips, hey. Lord, there's a bunch of people.
Dennis, Laredo is currently 79 degrees and sunny. Dennis is asking how Laredo is.
And he already delivered and he has a load scheduled out already.
Nice.
I'm talking about you.
Oh, yeah, right. Me. Yep. Well, I think Dennis does too.
Oh, nice. Michael Ford, hello from Tremonton. Dude, I like that place.
I like Tremont.
Are you at the little Sinclair right there? They've got like the best fuel price over on that side of the country most times up in that neck of the woods.
So, this here, I will say,
Oh my
Rosie's
God.
got a pretty good gig
Because
she does not back that truck. She goes from the DC to the first store and says, Charley, you up?
right.
And Charley says, I'm up. And Charley does all the rest of the day.
And then I do the store deliveries and the drive back to the DC most nights. Oh Lord. Tom Bell said he just left Laredo last night. Oh, Michael Ford, good for you. You're at home. Good move.
Yeah, I didn't watch
And look,
I didn't watch the Dad IQ today. Did you, Charley? But,
did and they had an interesting conversation, but I want to touch more on that next week, I think, because they
Okay.
were talking warehousing and stuff like that, and I think that we could actually touch on that further at another time.
Okay.
And I've been all jacked up with this insurance stuff today. I couldn't
So I was gonna
focus on it.
say, so when I saw an opportunity to come to Laredo, I snatched it right away because last week's data IQ was saying that Laredo was hopping, and
Right,
compared to the last say half a year, it is right now. I mean, if you're down in Laredo, you probably don't have a problem getting out. You might not like where you go because it's Laredo, but you
right,
will get out. You're not going to be sitting all week like you would have even a few weeks ago.
right. Wimpy McPost said he's still here. So there you go. He's still here in the house. Was first and still here. Just saying. So you know what? I'm gonna do this fuel surcharge thing real quick. So let's do that. That'll be fun. I gotta click banners. No buttons. Not the banners button, but buttons. Oh my god, I give up.
What's the name of it?
Pow. So the national diesel cost average went down. Oh my, 9 cents down to 4.444. The West Coast Pad 5 also went down 5 cents, almost 5.5 cents, down to 5.033. Brings our fuel surcharge down. It was the same drop as last week, a drop of 0.016 cents per loaded dispatch mile on the standard OTR type rate. Brings it to 0.532. The West Coast fuel surcharge actually went up because that gap jumped between the West Coast and the national average went up to 0.589. The disparity between the two. So that's gone up. We've been at 8 cents for, good Lord, a couple months now. So that was nice. We came close to hitting 7. We were close to hitting 9 last week, and then bam, this week we're at 9. So there you go. I will throw that up on the ticker. By the way, phones are open if anyone wants to call. We will probably hold off on you for right now, but if you'd like to talk to us later on after we talk about some stuff, we would be happy to chat with you on the phones. The number's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It's 813-548-3722, 813 live FCC. Anyhow, that's just fun to say. I can't help myself. So let me get out of this screen. We'll go back and we'll click on this button and be like, hey. Wow. And we're back.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. So we do have some intern stuff. We're actually waiting on Tony Dennis to show up in our little chatty thing down there. We sent him the link. Hopefully he'll be in there pretty quick. He had to run to the office to get on his computer there. So he actually had a camera. If not, we'll get him to call in or something if we need to.
Yep.
And
So Charley,
Reese standing by as well. Yes, sir.
so guys have been waiting for this. Are you paying Swift for insurance anymore?
Well, as of right now, I am not. So I actually am now insured by an outside carrier. My coverage starts Thursday the 16th. I'm pretty happy about it. And I will, full disclosure, I'm paying $4 more per month for my insurance.
But
And I have way better coverage than what I was getting from Swift. And the gap coverage is there. OIDA, I don't know if you guys caught when we were talking about it last week. OIDA does not offer gap coverage on anyone that's insuring a lease truck. So if you have OIDA and the truck market starts to fall, like I think is probably going to happen this year, they're going to pay you what truckpaper.com says your truck is worth. And if that's $140,000 and your stipulated loss value is $190,000 on your lease, you're out 50 grand that you're going to be expected to come up with. So that's something to think about. Midlife jerk Tom Bell. Surcharge sure goes down faster than it goes up. Man, it sure absolutely seems that way sometimes, you know?
although,
Oh my God.
remember that one couple weeks
Yeah.
there where
That,
it went
yeah.
up like 10 cents in 1 week?
Yeah, it was awesome.
So yeah.
So we're waiting on Tony to get in so that we can talk more in depth because he's a smarter person when it comes to insurance stuff. Jeff Reese is standing by. We will get to him. Maybe we'll dip into him in a few. That sounded weird. We just went dark.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Don't stop it.
Nope. Nope.
Just so hi, midlife trucker Tom Bell. Nice to see you, buddy. Glad you're here. How you been? Been a minute. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Blackbeard is in Fort Walton Beach tonight. He's going to He's going to Kingston, North Carolina from Laredo. Okay, okay.
Apparently, we're giving Bear Hunter's wife ideas. I think she's going to start pulling Rosie here.
There you go. Make him work harder, Stephanie. Make him work harder. The man needs it. Slacker. I mean, just playing. So,
What is
Dennis,
the down payment go?
Oh,
Could you stop?
dude, we were clicking the same thing.
Great minds.
It's gonna be your month's premium. So you're just gonna pay for the month and be done with it and move on, and then you're just gonna pay it every month.
Yep.
It's gonna be pretty awesome. There are several options available, by the way. I did not pick the cheapest option. There are other options available, and I'm hoping that he gets in here so he can explain those, because I can't really explain them, honestly, because I'm not a smart man, and it's insurance and it's confusing.
Yep.
We have a lot of things that we are going to be able to offer our folks if you want it, such as replacing the OCAC. Currently, we pay Swift or their insurance carrier $150 a month to carry their OCAC for the same coverage you get from them. Excuse me, the OCAC. If you want the exact same coverage, which basically pays your household and medical bills, with this new option, it'll be $125. So there's a $25 a month savings. Now, if you want to cover your business expenses, such as your truck payment and that sort of stuff, up to a year at, I think it's $3,000 a month, a week. I can't remember what the number was. I think it's $3,000 a month. That coverage will bump you up still and be less than the $150 a month that we're paying Swift currently. So I will be adding that to my policy next month as well.
Right, and that's something that Charlie and I'd never even thought about.
Right.
OCAC, yeah, whatever. Workman's comp is basically what it is. But all it pays is your household bills.
Right.
This new policy will pay for your lease payment as well. So
Right.
if you fall off your truck and break your femur and you're out of action for 3 months, you're completely covered. You're not going to lose your lease.
Truck payment.
Yep.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah, but Bear Hunter, you guys are real truckers. Oh,
I'll take that. I don't mind. That's totally legit. Like, see, you can't hurt my feelings with that one.
Charlie's been crying in his Cheerios lately about how I really need to get back OTR.
Right?
I
For
should
real.
go back OTR. I feel bad because I can't use the load board because we're a team and they're all solo loads and whatever.
I mean, there's some.
The struggle is real.
So, Sean, we are working on that as well. We need Tony in here to get this stuff going, man. We apologize for the delay. As soon as we get Tony in here, maybe we can start poking that bear and see what I did there. That was funny.
So what Charlie was referring to, I thought this might come up, is the $3,000 per month is what they will cover towards your business.
Sorry, I want to correct that. I believe it's $1,500 because $3,000 was if me and Rosie were put out of work for a month.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. I believe it's $1,500. Again, we need freaking Tony in here before I start saying things that are totally not true.
Yep.
Will we get an email with this information? Not if I don't have your email address. Oh, wait. I might have them. Oh, I'm smart. That's right, because we haven't finalized everything, so I still have that. Well, some of you I will have email addresses for, not all of you. That's funny. Wimping me poke. Too many YouTubers on the load board already. Hey, that's okay. We're not YouTubers. Just going to throw that out there. I don't like to call myself a YouTuber. We use YouTube for different reasons than other people. It's not our source of income. We're not trying to make income from YouTube. We use it to actually reach out to the people, the clientele that we're trying to build for our consulting stuff. You know what I mean? So, but that's cool. I mean, whatever. I mean, they do their thing, we do ours. Like I said, you know, we're not looking to get monetized or anything like that on YouTube. That's not really our goal. That's cool though. I mean, I don't knock people who do it. I mean, hell, power to them. It's a tough thing to do, I think, especially to make any money that's actually worth worrying about. But it's a lot of work. It's a hard grind, and I've got enough grinding on this other stuff we're working on, like getting this insurance deal done. Holy hell, it's been a long, brain-breaking journey. And look, I didn't have to do the work. Like, we're throwing in pieces here and there, and I kept throwing monkey wrenches at Tony, saying, "Oh, by the way, we need this to be covered as well. We need this thing as well. We need this part as well." And he's like, "Okay, seriously." And he had like lawyers and all this crazy stuff involved and all kinds of madness, man. It was something else. But it's all done. Like I said, we have several options available.
Yeah, that was a lot of you guys on the private Facebook group were asking, so what's the holdup? And that was part of the holdup, is that we got lawyers involved.
Right.
Then once they got involved, Tony would get something written up, and then the lawyers would be like, "Well, what about this other part of this contract these guys let us see? They need to have that covered too. What about that over there? What about this over here?" And so it was just like a back and forth until he got the product so that it would actually cover us for everything. So yeah, it's been a journey.
If you're talking about mine, Sean, yes. I love my wall.
Oh, your I love me wall.
I got magic buttons for it.
Ooh,
look at that! Huh?
That's messing with your autofocus.
I know it does. Getting the lights working, it takes a minute to fix the focus. Anyhow, but yeah. Jonah said, "Don't leave your truck when you're in the Houston yard. His truck got broken into. That sucks, and that sucks."
Yeah, totally.
So, hey, if you guys have any other questions besides insurance right now, we could talk about those. For any of you who, we could bring Jeff Reese in and talk about the ES Advantage stuff and some current offerings and things like that. Like, one of his new sales guys called me today, and that was fun because he was like, "Hey, we saw in your survey." Look, I'm just gonna bring Jeff in because this will be funny.
Oh.
Wait. Oh yeah, I got you now. So he's got a brand new sales guy. His name was Mark, right?
No.
I can't remember his name.
Try again.
Whatever,
Bobby.
man. Bobby. That's like Mark. That's close.
You were
whatever, dude.
That close.
So he called me. He's like, "Look, we saw that you answered the survey and you were asking about insurance, right?" Because I'm like, "Yeah, we need insurance, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, so we've got that worked out now." And I'm like, "We've been working with Jeff Reese and Tony," and he's like, "Oh, so what can we do for you?" And I'm like, "So I'm good right now, bro." And then Jeff Reese gets on. He's like, "Man, I think you hurt my dude's feelings or something." I don't know.
So we've expanded our team, and so
it's a good sign.
He's helping. Yeah, he's helping out, and he'll be one of the people that can kind of answer some questions, stuff like that, as he gets more acclimated to everything. But yeah, Charley, I think you were like his second phone call ever. So like,
nice.
Traumatized, and I had to be like, it's okay.
Right?
Like,
man needs a hug. I told him, I'm like, Jeff should have warned you about calling me. Like, I'm like, Jeff set you up, bro. You're in trouble now.
Bulldog. Yep.
Right? I'm like, no, he was cool. He was like a really nice guy. Like, he seemed like he genuinely wanted to fix something and help something. And I'm like, "We already got it covered, bro." And he's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
I was like all fired up to do something, and now I don't have anything to do with you. And
yeah, Jeff, you should, if it helps, you could take him aside and say, "Trust me, man, you did not want any part of what these guys were trying to do because this took 3 months."
Right?
Oh gosh, 3 months and a lot more gray hair.
Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely been an experience trying to put this together. Insurance is definitely highly complex, um, especially when you're talking about meeting the standards that Swift has. Because I mean, Charlie, as you know, they've got to approve the coverage to make sure
Right.
that you're properly covered and that they're properly protected as well. And so and you know, like Jeff said too, once lawyers get involved and you start looking at all the paperwork and all the documentation, there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of I think we got this done, and then what about this and what about
Right.
that, right? And so, and on top of that too, you know, part of the, I mean, really the main focus of the ES Advantage is to offer um, opportunities for savings and options. So we wanted to make sure that you know what Tony was bringing to the table was more than just one option. So, and I think he did a phenomenal job.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
And he was super diligent and super patient with me, and because I'm always not always the most patient person in the world.
Right.
So, um, but yeah, I think that what's going to be presented is going to be very competitively priced, but much better coverage. So, and I think there's something to be said too about, you know, you have to worry about price. Yeah, I mean, you guys are worried about your bottom line, and you should be.
Right.
But you also need to make sure that your business is fully covered and protected too. So it's not always about the you know, what you're paying monthly.
Right.
Although it
You
is
know,
important.
one of the issues, Jeff, was so when I was talking to guys about what was going on, you know, on our private stuff. One of the issues was that I would use Charlie's truck as an example. Ace Chubb had him insured at 175,000 or whatever it was, but he
Yeah.
owes IAL 192. And when we told Tony that, he's like, "Well, wait. So if you want, they want their entire investment back, their projected profits back if you total the truck, right?" And we're like, "Yes." And he's like, "All right, I'm gonna have to work on that." And then
Right.
he did it.
Yeah.
So you know where I know that there were some of the competitors out there that also were able to bridge that gap,
Mhm.
but a lot of them just won't do it. You know, right now with the truck market the way it is, you're probably okay for the time being because trucks are still insanely high because of the shortage. But man, when the truck market goes back into what is the normal range for used trucks, I think you need to reevaluate what you're
Right.
insured for.
Right.
So, and then for you guys too that are like me that own your trucks, apparently it's harder to insure my truck than it is Charlie's truck
Right.
because it's so old. You know, and you know, like my cars, Jeff, I haven't had a car payment in 20 years. I just pay
Right.
cash for my cars. So I don't even have full coverage on my car. I just pay liability.
Mhm.
And but with a business, you can't really do that because if I total my truck out, I need to be able to go out and get another truck and keep working.
Hang on one sec, Jeff.
And so it's a
I
different
threw him
thing.
out. He's got to make a quick phone call real quick. Tony just tried to call him.
So it's a different thing, right, Charlie? For us as
Oh,
a
absolutely.
business owner, you can't just do the liability only really with a Class 8 truck because what are you going to do then? You total your truck out. Okay, so you don't owe any money, but you didn't get anything for another truck.
Right.
You know?
It actually worked out really well because you and I actually filled the spectrum because you were on the paid out end on,
Right.
you know, a lower value truck, and I was on this almost brand new truck. I mean, I just started in July, so I'm still, you know, in the first couple months of this thing. There's a few people out there with, you know, still newer trucks, but
Be-
good God, I mean, why
Because
is
Greg, he's
Charlie's
in
truck
a
so much?
brand new truck,
Right.
and that's the stipulated loss value on his truck this week.
So the day I picked it up, the stipulated loss value was 201,173.40, Greg. So I mean, you know, that's the money that IEL wants at the point that, you know, if I totaled it that day, that's the amount they wanted for it. So, you know.
This is actually a question I have for Tony when I go through the process that Charlie did. Is if I pay the full year, do I get a discount like I do with, say, a Progressive or Farmers or whoever on my auto insurance? That's a legitimate question that I do not have an answer for yet.
Right. And we'll be able to get those answers here pretty quick. It looks like Tony just thought we were starting later than we were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He thought we didn't come on for another 5 minutes. So there you go. Because you know what? It's my bad. I just assumed everybody knows, Jeff, that, we start at 6 o'clock.
That you don't know time zones?
Right. And I didn't put in there what time we were starting in the email when I sent the link. I just sent the link because I'm not a bright man.
It's all good. We can talk really slowly until he gets here.
Right. Hey, Jeff Reese, look, Bear Hunter said fix his platinum. LOL.
I got a guy or a gal.
He knows a guy that knows a gal. And hey, look. We'll let that. I'm going to fix that.
Okay.
I'm going to go further.
So remember, Bear Hunter, on that particular chain, which shall not be named, if you use the COM data card with your frequent fueler card on that pump, it's going to revert you away from the deal. Okay. And that's legit because they just figure you're not using ESA anymore.
Right.
If you don't use them at least once a month. And, I actually did an experiment with this, Reese, that I fueled, 50 gallons like at the end of the month just to keep my status, and it worked. So they don't care as long as you just use the ESA card on it and no COM data. It has to be all ESA.
Let's see what's going on, Tony. I'm going to bring him in real quick and see what happens here. This could be interesting. He's got no camera on. There's the man, the Tony.
Tony, are you there?
I am.
We have sound on Tony.
There you go.
Yeah, I can answer. Let me answer that question that Kenneth just asked. No, we have not raised any rates or anything. ACH funding is still 0.5% of whatever the amount is that you put on the card.
So there you go, Ken. You cranky old bastard. I'll say it because I like Ken. And I like picking on him. It's so much fun. He's going to talk trash to me now. Oh, my God. So we were giving people
he's one of the only people we can call old compared to
right?
us.
All right. So we have Tony Dennis here he's from Serbrite Agency. That's the official deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
And I have let people know, Tony, that my insurance has now been accepted by Swift and their insurance carrier people. So as of Thursday the 16th, they have canceled my insurance that I was carrying for FizDam and the non-trucking liability, aka Bobtail. And it makes me happy. So, and I basically was telling people that we have a couple of different options, and I couldn't explain it to them because I'm not a smart man, Tony.
Okay, so we'll accept that at face value. And so basically, let me tell you what we have. We have two programs. We have one that moves identically to the provisions we've been given, which is primarily about 3 contracts. And the coverages are virtually the same. The rates are slightly lower, not a great deal, but it follows the same format. So if you have a leased truck and you have a Schedule A attachment to where the amount of insurance required, we will match it, including the gap.
Right.
That's option number 1, right? So it's apples for apples, rates in about the same. The second option is similar to what some of the other markets have provided, right? So it's an ACV, which is the actual cash value of your truck. So if your truck is, like let's just use Charlie's for an example. He has it listed for 178, but if he blows it out or burns up and goes away, it has a debt value of something higher than that. We have a gap to pull that in to cause a zero deductible, other than your regular deductible of $1,000.
192,365 as of the 18th of this month.
Correct. And so we would pull that down from the basic formula under your lease agreement, which is less than that, right? It's one.
Right.
Your lease agreement is essentially 155 plus 15%. That gives you your insured value. I'm assuming that the majority of contracts Swift offers follows that format because it's a lease.
That's our understanding, yes.
Yeah. So, and in a way, and keep in mind, we've only seen a handful, so it's not like we can make a blanketed statement because they're all different. Every truck costs something different than the next truck. So we can give you an actual cash value. It means you insure it for the value, and all of a sudden it will pay off. If you're upside down, that creates a gap, and the gap coverage will pick it up all the way through. For the guys who have trucks that own trucks, where they physically own the truck themselves or another bank owns it, we could pick that up as well, and the rate is substantially less. Right. So more than a half a point less, and we can give you all your personal effects, your electronics, your deductible buyback, everything that we've seen. We've matched just at a lower rate, and then we don't require the inward camper.
Right. So,
Okay.
so basically, the way it breaks down is we've got better coverage for slightly under the price and no camera requirement. So one of the problems that we ran into, Tony, was we had guys that were mentors and or an easier word is our trainers. And basically what I ended up telling all of them last week was, look, I don't think we're going to be able to get you guys covered because of the student aspect of what it is you're doing and all that. So they're still asking, is it still a no on mentors, aka trainers?
So the mentor program has two obstacles, right? We've done these before. We're not dead against them. If we have a large enough book of business, if this takes off and goes well, which I think it will,
Right.
then you can entertain it. Most of the driver incidents we have with trainers isn't on-road accidents. It's actually pulling into pumps and pulling away from pumps.
Right.
Guys drive off with hoses left in their tank. Guys
Yep.
pull in and they don't understand how to make a wide turn to come in. So by the time you get up, you're close enough. Or you have backing accidents. They pull in, they overshot it, and then they back up and realize there's a truck behind them and smash into it. Right.
And it's always some shiny hood.
Yeah. So it's just some little things, but there are ways to do it. And we would consider it in the future, but right now, to get it off the road, I need to make this as successful of a program as we can. If we end up having to do something, we've already put it out for bid, so we know what our cost is and what we have to change for those people.
Right. Hey, Mike Henderson said Swift covers the student, but the way that they cover the student, Mike, and I had to dip into this deeper, is they cover the student through the insurance that you carry with them.
Yep.
It doesn't go against you, and they don't charge you the deductibles, but it's still filed against that same insurance because you're carrying the same insurance that they're carrying. So that's where that little snafu comes in.
That one tickled me.
If only there was something like get out and look. Amen, sir. Right? True story. But here's where we're at though. Is we're comparable in prices to what we're getting with Swift, but everybody needs to keep in mind that when all this came down, Transtar and Ace Chubb and Mojave and whoever else is involved in that whole process was talking about, we're going to have insurance hikes coming this year. They will not exceed 6% this year, but there's going to be an insurance hike this year, which hasn't happened yet. So our current prices at Swift right now
Are
are
going to go up.
probably about to change. Now the bobtail insurance did drop to $25 a month, which is fine, no big deal. We're slightly over that, which is, and I'm still okay with that. But it's just, I think that the other one's gonna, the shoe's gonna drop on that side. And I just think it's gonna happen in April or May or something like that, maybe June.
Maybe around April 1st.
Just saying. So the nice thing about this is, one, we're getting out of the camera requirement.
And
We're
separation.
right, creating the separation. And I came out last week and said that I was concerned about the OIDA insurance and insurances like them because they don't offer a gap insurance. So if and when, it's more like when the used truck market starts to drop, like we know it's going to do again, and it goes back down to normal, because right now there's no reason my truck should still be valued over $200,000 on a used truck market. That's just crazy. It's only because of the supply being all jacked up, which is going to start turning around soon, because we're still seeing, 2,000 trucks a month, or 2,000 companies a month, excuse me, leaving or terminating their authority out on the open market, and have been seeing that since October. So that's going to start changing. I think this next 12 months, we're going to start seeing that drop in the trucking market. So in the event that happens, and those rates go down to $140,000 for my truck today, and my stipulated loss value is 192, and I total it out tomorrow, I still owe $52,000. And if you're on the OIDA insurance and that happens, you still owe $52,000.
Right. Yeah,
Whereas
like Charley and I were talking over the last couple of weeks. It's important to understand what insurance is. Insurance is a hedge against bad things. You hope you never have to use it.
right,
The insurance company is really hoping you never have to use it. But when you need it, if you have a total loss, you don't want to lose your business, right? You need to be covered for the amount to cover that loss. And that's the game. Yeah, you can roll the dice. A lot of people do. I recommend you don't. So Tony, I had a question for you. So you got these two programs. So a guy like me that owns my truck outright, I can go ahead and get the one that's the lower cost and still be good under those parameters. I'm still gonna have my equipment and stuff insured at a level that's reasonable, right?
Correct. So your rate is more than a full half point with all the bells and whistles that they have, and then you can, you don't need gap, so you can drop that gap, and you can take that off the rate as well, right?
Okay.
So we have enhanced towing. The other thing that needs to be mentioned somewhere through the night, don't let me forget, is parts availability. Your truck gets smashed, you can't find parts. Your partner for insurance has to be able to stand up and get you parts. Both of our companies participate in the purchasing, and in one case, in Ace case, they actually own salvage yard so that we can take parts, right? So in your case, Jeff, if you broke your truck and you called Freightliner to get a part and they didn't have it, right? You have like, kind, and quality in both contracts. Doesn't guarantee you new, but it's like, kind, and quality. And if you can't go to the store and buy new, you need the availability to go to the secondary market and
right,
pick that part up to get your truck back on the road so you can make a living, right? The downtime is uniform in all three companies. It's $2,500. That's not enough money to last you very long in the normal scheme of things, right?
right,
Right.
So in the second policy, we actually have the ability, if you're not going to participate with the gap because it's not required by you or needed by you, you also have the availability to pick up that downtime for a larger number. that cost is relatively small, and especially today when the average lag in getting your truck fixed can be lengthy. So buying cheap insurance and waiting on the market to find your parts, Jeff, you see this, you hear this all the time. These trucks go down 1022, and I'm sitting here waiting on electronics to get my truck back, or I've got a straight truck. I can't get sides, I can't get tailgates, I can't get doors. And so you need to be able to hook yourself up with somebody that's going to be able to use inventory to get you your repairs.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right?
That seems to be the real deal. The part we need is always made of unobtainium.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's what we, and hopefully, I think one of the greatest things that we've been a partner with both these carriers for a very long time. And the one thing I can tell you, Jeff, firsthand, is the ability to fix your truck, put it back on the road very quickly, right? And everybody's going to have a problem getting something. There's just going to be, there's always something that's an issue. But for the most part, these trucks, 97%, get fixed, repaired at a body shop you choose, and quick.
So we had, where'd it go? I had what are folks going to need to come up with on a down payment if they decide to make these choices, Tony?
Neither choice requires a down payment.
You're basically just paying the first month premium.
Yes, you are. And you will pay it at the end of the month. So if you started on the 16th, you won't pay until right at the end of the month. We'll set up an AC for you and take it directly out of your checking account or your bank account, or you can pay online. We'll give you portal access. And you can set it up so it recurs on the same day every month. We can send you an invoice every month. It's all automated. So once you get signed up, like you just did, within the next 24 hours, somebody's going to call you and sit down at your convenience and walk through your own management site for your truck and the insurance that you control.
Right.
And you can make all the changes from your cell phone, laptop, iPad, whatever. Because it's yours. It's password protected. It's in the cloud. You'll see all your values. You'll see all your endorsements. You want to make a claim. You actually have a little section. You pull up. It says claim, insurance, and it tells you who to call. If you have a problem, who to call.
And we should go in once a year and reset that stipulated loss value, right? Is that good practice?
In this case, your change will occur on your policy renewal.
Okay.
It'll do it for you. It'll force you to do it.
Gotcha. And then Jonah Green asked, when can we get this insurance?
You can get it in the morning. The office will be taking the information first thing in the morning.
And just for fun, Randy asked, why would you not get the gap insurance?
Well, if you own your truck at 100%, you have no loan, you don't need gap.
Right.
Makes sense.
Right? But if you have a loan against it, you're vulnerable.
And then Randy Shackelford came up and said, where and when do I sign up?
So let me give you the number. You can call the office. It's 800.
Crap, I lost my pen. Hold on, Tony. I was not prepared to write because I'm a terrible person again. Okay.
Jeffrey,
I'm ready.
You were in charge of him.
He thinks so.
800.
Gotcha. 366.
6466.
Okay.
And tell them you were brought by Contractor's Corner.
Nice.
If you don't say that, you're going to go into the general pool and you will not find the same coverages at the same rate.
There you go.
Okay.
So you will need to drop our name to get these rates, y'all.
Yes.
I will get that number. In fact, I'm going to type that up right now. There's some other stuff. Jeff, I need you to go through questions and find out. Hi, Sue. Ken Kelly, I'm sold. Where's the dotted line? I love that guy.
If you want, Charlie and Jeff, we can also send a quick text and email tomorrow morning with that same
that'd be great.
information
That would be awesome.
to everybody. Yeah. Okay.
Let me create a banner.
And Jeff, just because we like to point this out and toot our horn a little bit, what's Contractor's Corner's cut on all of this? What are we making?
Y'all are making boom.
Tony can tell you the same thing about the insurance.
Nothing.
Yep.
Zero.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we told Tony is any discounts that are available and all that stuff, just pass it right on through.
Yep.
So
You get 100%. The only thing that you will need in your hand is your driver's license number, if you know it. That would help. You will need your VIN number and your Schedule A if you have a lease, because we have to live up to your contract and your lease. We have to verify that one page. It's page 7 of all the pages that you send to us. You'll open it up and that will show you what you leased it for and what the payoff is in that given month, twice a month throughout the lease for your lease, because we have to protect the lien holder.
Sorry, still typing stuff. My bad.
Okay, so got a bunch of people just saying hello to each other. Greg
That's
wants to know the number again. We'll get that up here shortly. I think
It is
Charlie's
scrolling
working
across
in the
the bottom of
background.
the screen now. 800-366-6466. You need to mention that Contractor's Corner to get this deal, guys.
Yep.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. And look, like we said, the rates are comparable to what we're paying Swift now. And there is an option to pay less if that's the avenue you choose. I chose to pay slightly more or equal to what I'm paying now, but my coverage is so much more than what I had with Swift. And by the way, the gap with Swift is something that they put in their binder on their end that we don't ever actually see. They have it built into their stuff so that in the event we total the truck, they're covered. It just pays it off and you don't pay for it. Well, maybe you do. Maybe it's mixed into their numbers.
Well, it's kind of linked to the deductible buy down, I thought.
Right.
That's what we saw. So
there's all kinds of weird stuff in there, but I don't understand all that nonsense. Insurance stuff makes my head hurt.
That's why Tony got the lawyers involved to make sure that we had everything covered.
Right.
Yes.
So the number is
so
down
what's
there at
the so here's a question. Do they have a commercial towing option? What's the you mentioned enhanced towing. Can you tell people what that means?
So we have a $15,000 towing limit built directly into the policy. We have higher limits upon request. So if you're an East Coast runner and you're running on the New Jersey Turnpike, you know that you can't get towed out of their Harley for $15,000. And you just don't see tow bills. So you can buy up to what you need. If you're out in the boonies, you probably have access to towing, but it's the geographics to it and time. I can't control that, but I can control, covering what the exposure is for higher tow bills. So you can get literally up to anything you want, but you pay for it. It is a rate. So the generics of the policy is met with 15,000. We have 20,000 on the 8th. So I think that's a good deal. We also will offer you occupational accident with business overhead expense. You can compare.
Which is a better deal than Swift's OCAC.
Yep.
It is a much better deal because not only do we fund your household, which is what occupational accident does, the income. That is important for any policy that you look at. The one thing that no other policy covers is the expense of your business for up to a year, right? So if you got in an accident, you became injured, and you got your household benefit to run your household. It doesn't mean that they're covering your truck payment and the bills that you've generated by being in business for yourself.
Right.
Right? The very thing that occupational accident is supposed to protect, it falls short. So we have an enhancement called business overhead expense, and we can pay you up to $1,500 in the basic. You can buy anything you want, but you can buy a standard benefit that we see the most of is $1,500, and it will go for a year. So if you're injured, you can't work, you need to sell your truck, you're not forced to think about it. You got a year to take care of yourself and make a delayed decision to go back to work. Get well, get healthy, come back to work. If you can't, you got a year to plan an exit strategy. You won't
Right.
be forced a liquidation sale just because you can't make your payment.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys do call, I'm just going to throw this out there for you, just so you're prepared for this. Along with the things that he said you needed already, and I can't remember what they were. I think you said driver's license, the VIN, and page 7 of the lease. I think that's what we said.
Schedule A.
Yep.
Schedule A. So along with those, I'm going to tell you that you should go through and pull your current insurance prices so that you know and you can compare apples to apples. This is what I'm paying for physical damage. This is what I'm paying for bobtail. They're going to call it non-trucking liability. This is what I'm paying for OCAC currently. This is what I'm paying for the deductible buy down or glass and what have you. Okay. So write those down, figure out your weekly rate, multiply it by 52, divide it by 12. That's your monthly rate. Because when you start talking with Tony's people, you're going to be talking about a monthly rate, not a weekly rate. They're not going to take it out of your settlement. This is going to come out of your bank account every month. We're going to put our big boy pants on and handle things like business people, you know, and we're going to move on from there. But that way you have exactly what you're currently paying, because you're going to see, you know, like my insurance, for instance, is $137 in change weekly. I couldn't tell you what that is off the top of my head monthly. Yes, I can. $594.86. No, $594.19. Because I have it written down. I cheated earlier because I had all these written down. So, but you need to know those numbers so that you can make your decision based on the numbers you have. But you need to understand, and I'm sure they'll be able to answer these questions for you, is what the value of this coverage is. What it's truly going to do for you, your business, and your well-being in your family. Because insurance is covering you, your business, which is taking care of your family.
Right.
You know, without being able to do that. And I've heard some not great stories about different insurance companies, not going to name names or anything like that. But number one, trying to file a claim, filing a claim through Swift is not fun.
No.
The last time it happened to me was I was parked on a Swift yard, had an owner operator who decided he was going to drag his trailer across the hood of my truck forwards while trying to do something. I don't know, man. I watched the video and I was like, I couldn't even figure out what he was doing. But then he stopped after he realized he was hitting my truck, and he backed up the entire length of the trailer again. So I'm like, okay, let's do the insurance thing, right? Shouldn't be a big deal. It's Swift, right? But my downtime, I lost that. Sure, they gave me a new hood. They fixed the shiny parts. My downtime was completely gone. I wasn't able to work for several days while they did work and these things. And, you know, there are insurance things that we can get, that we have available to us now through these programs that we're getting, that would have covered that time. You know, so think about these things, you guys. You know, the amount of money you're losing in the event. I mean, one, just trying to deal with the insurance claims process is just a nightmare. I don't know how wide claims are. I have no idea. I do know that they don't offer the gap coverage. So if you have a total loss and the market's dropped, you're screwed. Period.
Yep.
They can't argue that. They're not going to deny that. They will tell you we don't offer gap coverage on a lease truck. Period. Swift has it built into theirs. I don't know about True North. I never did ask them that question. True North was more expensive than Swift, and it was not quite as good a coverage as what we're getting now with Tony. So, Tony, Randy Shackelford asked, if we have our own camera or multiple camera system, is there an impact on the insurance and or rates? That's what I'm assuming he's adding. I just added the end there.
There probably is not an impact to the rate. It's that those cameras are great for auto liability for assessing blame, right? So if somebody pulls in front of you, slams on their brakes, and you get a hit for a rear end, that camera will take care of that. If somebody comes off and on an exit or an entrance and runs into you, those cameras will allow us to subrogate, which will claim, right? You'll have a claim, but you'll see subrogation and it'll go back. So because we didn't do the forward facing, we gave you credit inside the rate to begin with.
Right.
We just don't force you to buy the camera.
Right. Okay. So Charlie, you want to fill this one because you just did it?
Yeah, Blackbeard. After we sign up, what is the process for submitting the documents to Swift, or does the new insurance do it for us? As of right now, I simply emailed Denise Easterling at Transtar. I can put her email up later when we do some write-up about this. And I basically just sent her the certificate of insurance. She looked at it, read it over, said, okay, you're covered. I canceled your insurance with Swift. Done. It literally took me half an hour. And that was just waiting on her to see the email and respond to it. We actually had to make one change to that certificate. It was just a name issue that needed to be sorted out, and put a name in the right place, and we got it sorted out. So now we know it has to happen. So it's all good. Is there any hope later, Tony, that maybe we could get that some sort of automated type deal, you think?
Yes, once we're through the format and Denise gets to know us, we'll be able to do that direct. We'll try it up front, but we're going to tell you just what we told you. It's probably going to be treated faster from you for a while than from us. We can do it. I'm also seeing here somebody's asking, can you buy a diminishing deductible? Which means, so you go accident free this year, and next year, does your deductible reduce? It actually does under the age policy.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay.
So there is an option for that.
There are options. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of things inside that policy that I sent you guys to look at. You'll see endorsements. There are 47 different endorsements that people can ask for, right? I don't think we'll go through all 47 because
It's a lot.
When they ask, can you cover them? So we have your basic parameters set for what the Swift policy covers. If somebody comes up with something else that they're looking for, chances are the person can answer your phone call. We'll be able to walk you through it.
Right.
They're already trained.
And Craig Hutchinson said, do they do free glass coverage for South Carolina? I'm guessing that's one of those 4 states.
Yeah, there are 4 states that it's mandated: in Florida, Oregon, New Jersey.
I don't know the other 2 either.
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
If it's one of those states, Craig, then yes.
Otherwise, it's $100 deductible.
And the glass coverage rate would be the same. So there you go. Randy Shackelford said, right on. Thank you. Here you go. Greg Burgess said, what if we get sick and need time to get well? Do they offer anything for that? Is that something we can get built in later? Something like that?
So sickness is not covered under anything. There is disability income that you can purchase to do that based on sickness. You can buy it on accident. And if somebody wants it, we can go to the private sector and provide that for them.
Nice.
So you can break it out twofold: one sickness, an accident. You're already covered on the accident side. You also get covered while you're off duty. So there are off-duty coverages for you already built in.
That's cool. So we do have some options, guys, and as we progress, we had to get this basic thing built first, and as we progress, we will delve deeper and wider into what it is that our community folks want and need and really need to protect themselves and their businesses. Uh, Rob Toon said, "I hold the title to my truck. Is there a discount for paying a year instead of a month instead of monthly payments?"
So that was never asked of me, and yes, that probably is true. I didn't negotiate anything but a monthly rate. So
So,
I'll have to ask in the morning that just because I was asked for monthly.
right. So we'll look into it,
I'll look
Rob.
into it.
And that's a good question. I mean, look, I
Yeah,
don't want to
great
come up with
question.
$7,000 today, but whatever.
Well, it wouldn't be $7,000 for those of us that own
Well,
our trucks.
right, bastards. I'm just jealous again. That's all. Oh, this leasing thing. What did I do? I feel like I missed something back there. Oh, Jonah wanted to know: is there coverage that will cover his blow up doll if she's in the truck with him?
You get that from Charley.
There you go. I can write you a policy, buddy. If something happens to
I'm
her,
thinking that's mental health technology right there.
right? I got you, Jonah. You and me, we'll get together afterwards, and I will write you a policy. It's super cheap. It's only like $1,000 a month, man. But I got you covered, bro. Going into insurance now for that rate, I got you. Sorry, man. I couldn't pass that one up. I knew there was something. Dennis is asking, is there any medical, vision, or dental insurance offered? I'm currently with Enrollment First. This is purely trucking vehicle stuff, I believe.
Correct.
Dennis, you need to go and look at all of the questions of that nature on Contractors Corner Facebook group.
Right.
And because of the nature of our business, you really need to look at the exchange and find yourself some better insurance than that.
For real.
Because I got a clue for you. The government thinks you're poor. I don't care what you make as a trucker, they think you're poor. So you
Right.
qualify for better insurance through the exchange.
Yeah, Craig, I feel your pain, brother. Craig said my insurance with Swift is $8,616.40 a year, 718.03 a month. I feel your pain. I was at $619 for my current coverages, and yeah, so I feel what you're saying. Oh, that's a good
Riders.
question. What about rider type policy, Tony?
Like you want to take your kid or your wife with you out on the road.
Yeah, you can. Actually, there is a policy for passenger accidents, cover them for medical and life insurance.
There you go, guys. So we're getting these things covered.
And one of the big questions that hasn't been asked yet, but people have been asking us, is what about trip leasing? I know that we talked about that a little bit, Tony. We're going to be able to trip lease with this policy, correct?
Yeah. Yep. As long as you hold a Swift contract, that's our only criteria. We're basing everything we have off the good name of Swift, right? So Swift Contractors Corner, we will provide coverage under their contract. Whatever they say you can do, we will allow you to do.
So there you go,
Okay,
folks.
there you
You
go.
don't have to pick up an extra policy outside for that. You'll just need to reach out to the folks that we'll be dealing with and let them know, hey, I'm going to this carrier for a trip lease. Here's their DOT number and stuff, because they'll need to know that info, I'm sure. Rentals, Tony. If my truck goes down tomorrow and I rent a truck from Swift and or IEL, whichever one is the one that it's 95% we're renting them from Swift and not IEL these days. Will our policies cover those?
Yes. So what happens is your truck is wrecked, whatever degree, and you take it to the shop, you pick up a rental. Your truck is down. That premium is still being paid, right? So we will cover your new truck. There are things we have to talk about. So, for example, if you have a $50,000 truck and you go in and pick up a $200,000 rental truck,
Right.
okay, you're going to be upside down for that coverage. So you have to inform us of that, and you will get a difference in premium rate for that time,
Right.
right? Because you
So
don't
it'll
have
be a
it.
prorated type deal.
Yep. So with a phone call, they'll be able to tell you exactly what it is, put your certificate out for that rental, and you can drive with confidence that you're not going to get killed.
Nice.
Greg likes the rider policies. It's sweet. Craig Hutchinson said, Tony, can I call you now?
Tomorrow morning, man. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning. I will give you my cell phone. So if somebody thinks that they didn't get the right answer, if they've got questions on a more technical aspect than what somebody will answer the phone with, I'm willing to take those calls.
I'm
I
going to
will
tell you something about Tony's cell phone, though. When you call him, if he does not answer, it's going to tell you that his mailbox is full.
Correct.
But he will call you back.
Yes. And the reason my mailbox is full is because I don't want people leaving changes on my cell phone. And I get lots of phone calls. I put 13,000 minutes on my phone this last month on my bill. So I see it. I return every phone call by the end of the day. Most of the time, I'm not more than a half hour to an hour behind. So
Nice.
I will take your call, and but to bind it, you'll have to go through the office. They will take care of you, and if you have a complaint, so
Call
the
Jeffries.
hours of operation.
Why not?
I get up at 4, so you can go directly to the 800 number, transfer over to my cell phone. So I'm usually down in my office by about 4:30, quarter to 5 Central Time. I'm usually down here till 10 o'clock at night. If you have a
This
claim,
man
call
works
24
hours.
hours a day. I will answer. I promise.
He sleeps in his office.
Yes, I
Right? I don't think he sleeps. I think he's vampire-y.
do. No,
He's got long hair.
yeah,
He's
that
out
might
there in
be.
the middle of nowhere. I'm just
Yep,
saying.
I do.
There's signs.
So, but if you want, I can give you my cell phone. It's 952 367 6726.
You're a brave man, Tony. You are a brave man.
So be patient. If it gets to an overload, I'll let you guys know. But if they come in reasonable, I will take those calls. But the office will be able to help you immediately.
Nice.
And Tony, our goal is to eventually try to get this online somehow, right? To where it's more of an online request. So this is we're getting this off the ground. We want to make sure that everything lines up the way that it's supposed to. Best way to do that is Tony wants to have his finger on the pulse, which I appreciate greatly.
Yes. So eventually, we had it built, and there were so many changes from the time we started this process till
Right.
we pulled it, just because of the way they quote the coverages. It's a little more complicated than a traditional quote, but eventually you will actually be able to go onto a website, fill it all out yourself, set your own time frame for payments and how you want to pay, and they'll have multiple payment options eventually. But
So what are our payment options now?
Monthly.
Okay. And do we have to do an EFT draft, or can we do a debit card?
You can do a
What
debit
are our
card,
options?
credit card, check. You can actually take a picture of your check, go to the website. You will get your own website. Everybody will have a website to manage their insurance.
That's
So
awesome.
you can stuff all your insurance, not just what you buy here today, or if you don't buy anything, you can actually take care of that. And you
Nice.
can put all your insurance policies in there, put your medical cards. You're supposed to, if you're self-employed, you're supposed to have a file on yourself, and so it creates all that. It'll hold anything that you're doing that requires insurance by policy, by carrier, all the phone numbers, the claim numbers, your claim kit. So if you get in an accident, instead of picking up the phone and calling somebody, if you put your material in there, and we will do anything you purchase through us for you. You go to the claim kit, physical damage. I damaged my truck. Here's the number. I called the number and nobody. Then you get a second number that you can call, and then if you can't do that, you can always call the office and we'll do it for you.
Okay.
So it's simple.
Now this software suite that you've set up, you were saying that you also pull our what do you call it, Charley? The driving record thing.
DMVR.
The
DMVR.
DMVR twice a year, and that'll show up on there too.
Yep, we store it in there for you.
This is funny. Bear Hunter. See, Tony, I want to hug Tony. Amazing job, guys. I want to hug Tony too, but I'm pretty sure he's going to punch me in the face after all this work. And there's no chance of me seeing him until at least deep July, because he's up there in deep Canada, yo. I mean, he slid off the road last week and had to like use his vampire powers to pull himself out of the ditch, and it was crazy, man. I'm just saying.
There you go, spreading rumors again.
I know, right? Eventually, they're gonna be like, "Oh,
yeah." Everybody believes everything that Charley says. So
right. Oh God, I get checked and rechecked and fact checked over and fact checked again. Yeah, Randy Shackelford for real. Tony, he said, Tony, we're gonna wear you out over the next couple of weeks, getting us all enrolled. So yeah, let's hope so. Look, I hope so, and this will be the end of it, and then we'll just start trickling after that. As we start getting new contractors, guys, start spreading the word, and like I said, Contractors Corner is getting nothing out of this. We are taking zero. This was a deal we wanted to get made. We really wanted to make sure that everybody was saving as much as we could. Look, there was an offer. We could have made a couple bucks off this. We could have become insurance guys, and Jeff and I were like, "Oh hell no, don't want nothing to do with that nonsense." Because I've seen the hours this guy's put in on this, and I'm like, no.
After one of the things Charley and I are going to do after Vegas is we're going to go on a terminal tour together and go visit all the recruiters and OOCs out there and make sure that they know what all these programs are. So that should drive a little bit of this into a pretty good realm, I think. Because that's a lot of the out of the 12 to 1,400 owner operators that Swift has, contractors that Swift has, we really only reach about 250 right now.
Right.
And it's all about guys don't know we're out there, right? And so we're going to try and ramp that up over the next year and make sure everybody knows what these programs are, where they can save their money, where they can get better insurance, all of that. So it's just a matter of getting out there. And, we actually like drive truck for a living. I know that sounds crazy. So
right.
We just haven't had the time to do the terminal tour like we wanted to, but we're going to try and do that after Vegas. Because we'll both be in the same place at the same time.
Right. So we are going to try and let these guys loose. If you guys got any questions, get them in real quick. If you got a question for Jeff Reese for the ES stuff or Tony Dennis for the insurance stuff, you guys throw them up real quick. I don't want to keep these guys here all night. Look, Tony will talk insurance for hours. That's like he will for real.
Oh,
like, he will break your brain.
And if you talk to Tony one-on-one, just be aware the man multitasks. The first time I talked to you, Tony, we were talking about the prime rate of the Fed raising rates and what that did to your farming business. And out of nowhere, you were like, okay, I got your thing done. I mean, this dude was literally doing two things at one time. So,
right.
So, you have pretty good conversations. Just know he's in the background doing all the stuff. And out of nowhere, he'll say, I'm done.
Yep. Hey, Greg said he sent a guy named Jay over to us the other day. And Greg, he is in the group. Just saying, he's already in the group today, buddy. Just saying. We added, I think I added like 7 or 8 people to the group today. We're currently right around 250 in the private Facebook group for Contractors Corner. A few more than that are subscribed to the channel, which is cool. We have a lot of people who aren't actually Swift contractors who are subscribed to the channel and contribute each week and are part of our community, which is cool. Jeff Reese, I think, is getting blown up by the wife here pretty quick. She's gonna be like, bro, where is this Charley and Jeff guy? I'm coming for them.
I'm no comment.
Right. Timothy Ransom said, I hope we don't get blowback from Swift down the road because they lost money on us not using COM data for fuel and now their insurance. You know what?
Yeah, every time we actually had a conversation with Brett Stewart about that, and Brett was like, "Hey, man, you own your own business. You do what you need to do, and just keep running that Swift freight. That's all I want from you."
They are not worried about that. They have stated it over and over. We are not worried about the money we will lose from you guys stepping out and taking care of your business and creating that separate. Look, the more we separate ourselves from them, the safer they are in litigation.
Right.
Period.
Yep.
It just is what it is. So, I mean, it's look, the more we go, the better we are. Ken Kelly said, don't forget the night guys either. There could be business there as well. That is something we're actually looking at in Contractors Corner, and eventually I think we'll start trying to branch out a little further. We want to make sure that we are on solid footing with all of our things, and because that's a whole other system to learn. It is
It's a different
yes, we are.
contract. It's a different
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, we're under the same umbrella, but they are separate, completely separate lines of business. So, yeah, I don't want. Look, I've learned so much about my and I know this contract really well. I've learned so much about my contract in the last month. It is ridiculous, and it's all around insurance, and it hurts my brain.
Yep.
So, but yeah, last call, you guys, for insurance questions. We will type something up here and put it in the Facebook groups. We'll put it in all the groups that we can find for anyone who may not be in the Contractors Corner private group for whatever reason. That's cool. We'll put it in all the Facebook groups that Jeff and I post and talk in, things like that.
Even the group that shall not be named.
Right. We won't name that name. And but yeah, and Reese said he's going to send it out to our folks through the ES app, so that'll be cool.
Yep.
And so anyone that didn't catch it here will be like, what the heck is that? And that's cool. So yeah. Let's see, anything pop up? And send it to Sue. Absolutely, Sue. We will get it to you. Absolutely. Sue's one of our owner operator consultant people. She's one of the office folks that we absolutely love. And like, seriously, like, dig that lady. Oh my God. She is so valuable to us in so many different levels. It's crazy.
Getting up
Ken
in the
Kelly
morning
said,
hurts your brain, Charlie, and I can attest to that because I start
true
trying to
story.
call Charlie usually to talk about Contractors Corner stuff at about 8 or 9 o'clock his time. Sometimes I'll get a hold of him by noon.
Right. Look. Wait. Okay, wait. Let's be real though. Okay, if I'm home, yeah, I might be sleeping in some days. But if I'm working, I don't talk on the phone till I'm done with my store deliveries. I am absolutely focused on my customer. I will text you while I'm delivering, but I won't take a phone call while I'm
Yeah,
making
but I
my
can't
deliveries.
text because I'm driving. That's why I
Exactly. See? Don't be Jeff Reese.
Hey,
What?
hey.
Hey,
Oh,
It
what happened
was
there,
one
Reese?
time. It was one time.
hey, we're gonna mandate you have a smart drive camera in your car from now on.
I probably need one.
Right. Inward facing.
That's right. Full audio.
Accountability, full accountability. I got you.
All right, Jeff Reese, Tony Dennis, I want to thank you guys. Seriously, man. You guys have put in a lot of work on this. Tony, you have put in way above and beyond, sir. I just don't even know how to thank you, man.
Well, come to Sturgis. We'll see you out there.
Look, I'm not allowed there. I'm not allowed around motorcycles. Since July 11th, 1993 at about 17:05 p.m. North Carolina time, this is the last time I was on a motorcycle. Wife only. I would absolutely go. Trust me. If she told me today I could get on a bike, I would have one today. I'll go steal one. Real talk. I would steal one.
I bring out multiple so you don't have to go find one or steal one.
Right. Yeah, no, I would get cut and killed and murdered and then resurrected and murdered again.
All right.
So, yeah. Oh, Bear Hunter said, did he say Sturgis? I love this guy. Look at that, Tony. More fans, brother. All right. Yep. Tony, Jeff Reese, you guys got anything you want to throw at us for the last second?
I'll just say, hey, appreciate y'all letting me come on here, letting us help you guys out. That's what we do. We help people. Charlie, Jeff, I've got some other ideas stirring up in my head. So that could be good. That could be scary, but we'll talk offline and see what the next thing can be.
We kicked
right.
Jeff in the backside about accounting. Just gonna leave it there.
Man, I tell you what, yeah, these are so exciting. I mean, talk about insurance and you talk about accounting and taxes. I'm telling you, oof, my
It's good
favorite
stuff,
topic to talk about. You know, I sit down with my wife across the table and then like, hey, let's
right?
talk taxes.
And she throws forks and knives at you for real.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You got anything you want to throw at us, Tony?
No, I'm good. I look forward to taking some calls, and we'll get back to you at the end of the week and let you know how each day went. I'll let you know the times and days when people call in, and we'll see how we do.
Cool deal,
All right,
man.
man.
I do appreciate you, Tony. Thanks so much, Jeff
All right.
Reese. You better get home before that woman kills you. It's gonna happen.
She's
You're in
going to
trouble.
kill us if he doesn't get home.
That's right. That's right. I'm doing this for y'all, not me.
All right, brother. You guys, thanks so much, you guys.
All right,
All right,
take care.
thank you. Bye.
All right, man.
So there you go, man. We have insurance. Just saying. Yeah.
Got a little
Right.
tear going on. We're done.
I know. That was so much work, man. Getting to this point is crazy. Randy Shackelford. Yes, accounting. For real. Like we've got some stuff that he's working on. We're hoping to hear something. Look, don't start hounding us about this because I don't know. He's got something that he's working on, and he kind of oh,
He
I almost
hinted at it.
thank you. I almost made a movie reference, but anyhow, that's not appropriate for. Hey, I saw Codename Mark.
PG show.
Oh, look at that.
You did?
Happy Valentine's Day, Truckers Coach. There you go.
What about us, man? What about us?
What the hell, Narc? Don't I get a happy Valentine's Day? Man,
I've got man boobs too.
I thought, whoa. He's a sexy beast. I thought we were tight and stuff, man. Dang. What the hell?
You're just not as famous. I'm sorry.
Well, that's true.
You're only Swift famous.
Right. Narc, it's good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well up there in your part of the world. Let's see. Bear hunter, not as scary as Charley's head. What the hell? You know what?
With that. Okay.
Charley and Jim. That's awesome. That's Jeff, but that's cool. Call him Jim. I think this could be fun.
Yeah. The only Jim I could think of is Jim Halpert off The Office, and I'm good with that.
There you go. It's Jeff. He's cool. Oh man, this is great. So, man boobs. I'm just stuck now. I just don't even know.
Hey, I turned 50 this week, so it's time to just embrace the suck.
Happy birthday to Jeff.
Yo, funny thing is, I called Charley on my birthday. I'm like, today's the day, man. I'm 50, and out of nowhere, and out of nowhere,
old as AF. See what I did there? That's gold right there.
Out of nowhere, I hear Rosie in the back singing "Happy Birthday."
Oh yeah,
and
she was quick on that.
Apparently, she like woke up to do that, so I feel really good about that.
She had just woke up. Oh, look at that! You got a happy birthday from Codename Narc.
All right.
Look, maybe you'll get a mention on Narc's channel. I'm just saying, everybody will blow you up then. They'll be like, happy birthday, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I almost said something that would have been really funny.
Okay.
Hey, Narc, can I be a head on a stick? Oh my God.
Oh, come on, man.
Why not? That would be hilarious. Should I wait, I'm not supposed to know about things like that. Come on. Narc knows I watch. Oh my God, I love those heads on sticks, bro. I'm just saying, man. Wait. Let me give you the opportunity to get a good screen grab here. Wait, hold on. Wait.
Oh my.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You go,
Look,
Charley.
You want one to Jeff? Look. He's the pissed off one all the time. Yeah.
Oh, let me do the
right.
There you go.
I think Jeff is like
do the
biggest
pissed off one.
Oh my God. Dude, how do we do this? We could be or if he combines us, are we? Jeff Lee? Oh, mind
No.
blown.
Jeffrey, like chutney, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Oh my God. Narc, keep doing what you're doing, man. I find
Yeah.
you mad entertaining, bro. Like for
Yeah,
real.
Tim. So for you guys that don't know, I'm one of those dudes with a whole tribe of kids. So I got 3 that are grown and in college, and I got 3 in a younger set. So of the kids that are at home, I have a 16-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And so I have 2 teenage girls in the house right now. And y'all wonder why I stay out for 2 months at a time.
Right? Hey, Randy wants to know if he needs to send you a bro for your moves, Jeff.
Hey, man, I'm down.
Oh, good God. Hey, if you guys got any questions, by all means, throw them up. We will do our best to dive into those. If you got any more insurance stuff, look, you missed the people that have the real solid info, but we will do our best to answer those questions. We will be trying to put some information out on the Facebooks. I'll try and type some of them up and put it in the show notes on this one after we get off here. Don't expect it to be there right away. I'm going to need a little time to type it all up and get the info on there. But it'll be in the description for the show, and we'll start adding it into all of our show descriptions. So, yeah. It's awesome.
And, for those of you guys, thanks for your patience. It really has been a long road. Charley and I, we were just driving it. This had nothing to do with us really, other than us saying, "Hey, Tony, what's going on with that insurance? Hey, Jeff Reese, what's going on with that insurance?
Right.
Come on, guys, we need that insurance. We're down to the wire. We need some insurance."
The hell out, for real.
Well, Charley, you and I were talking about, we kind of felt like the dicks, right? Because
seriously,
we're down to the wire. You either have to have the camera put in the next 3 weeks or so, or have arrangements for other insurance, right? So, man, this was down to the wire. It really was. So,
thanks, Narc. Appreciate you, man. Seriously. Look, Narc definitely has a channel, and it is a different channel than what we are. That is a whole nother world. Just saying, it is entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
The man speaks what he thinks.
Yes, he does.
Just throwing it out there. May or may not agree with what he says, but the man says it, and he puts it out there for the world to see, and he will stand by what he says. So, just saying, it's right there. Codename Narc. It's in his name. That is his channel. Codename Narc, and it is something else. Yeah, not whatever. It's, wow, just saying wow.
Yep.
Tooth Ransom.
Hey,
and both my kids are grown and in college.
Yep. I'll just say this real quick. I will watch Narc's show. Other YouTubers in our little area here, not so much. I'm just saying.
Right. Look,
we try hard to stay out of some of that stuff, but sometimes it's just too funny. We can't not say something.
Narc says some harsh things that he feels are just real. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That is not my bag, yo. I am all about people saying what they feel. It's why we served Ken Kelly, Jeff Morton, a bunch of you other guys. We served so that people had the right to speak their mind and feel free to do so, and continue to do so.
Yep.
Just don't yell fire in a crowded building, because that'll get you in trouble. That's probably not cool. If there's not a fire. If there's a fire, by all means, yell fire. I'm just saying. Then you should do it. I'm just saying. Oh, Lord. Yeah. So let's see. Life on 18 Wheels. Good to see you, by the way. I love what you guys do for us contractors. It's invaluable. Hey, look, man, and we truly dig what we do. We are trying to build a platform to where we can get away from a little less YouTube. Because like
Facebook,
a whole lot less Facebook. We're trying to figure out some logistics stuff on kind of moving slowly away from the YouTubes, even simply because You know, it's a weird genre, and we're not, you know, people call us YouTubers and whatever. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a YouTuber. What I'm saying is that that's not our bag, man. That's not where we're trying to make our money. You know, when I think of a YouTuber, I think of someone who that's, you know, that's kind of
They've
like their
monetized
full-time,
their channel and
right,
they're
you know,
doing
and that's the
well.
goal, and that's cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, cha-ching, yo.
Well, and you know,
That's
when
never
we
been our
first
goal.
started this, Charlie, we had that conversation because for
Right.
me, I was like, so are we going to monetize this YouTube thing we're doing or not? And Charlie's like, no, we're going to build a consulting firm. I'm like, okay,
Right.
so that's the route we're going. And you know, I was going to mention, you know, I'm reading that book right now by the woman that started the network that we're going to be using for our platform, for
Right.
our consulting business. And she makes some really good points about social media and what it has done to community worldwide. Because this is a woman that's been building social networks since the late 90s. You know, she built some from the ground up herself, and now she's doing this thing. And she made the point in her book that there was a conversion even with like Facebook where it went from being a social network to being social media.
Right.
And I found that really interesting because she was talking about how it used to be when Facebook and MySpace was all brand new and all that stuff. You know,
Right.
you had this network of friends and you had common interests and you just communicated with those friends in those groups. To now, the algorithm decides what you see on your news feed on Facebook. So your friends, the people that you joined Facebook to connect with, get lost in all of that.
Right.
So with her platform that we're going to be using, it's back to community. It's back to that. This is what we do. This is our
Right.
group. You don't get all these things from other people. This is what it is, and we talk about what we talk about, and we build a community. And we help each other and do better. Like Facebook was in the beginning. You know, you
Right.
had your groups, and that's all you heard from, and it was great. And now you've got, you know, some people saying that we're being invaded by aliens because of the 3 balloons that the U.S. Air Force shot down
Right.
this week. You know, I mean, crazy stuff.
Jeff and I don't want to get probed.
No.
We're gonna buy lead-lined panties. I mean, underwear. I don't wear panties
You wear underwear?
sometimes.
Yeah, we were talking. Charlie was getting dressed this morning. He had to put his headset down real quick. And
Totally happened.
I'm like, Charlie, just put on your Def Leppard shirt and do the show. Nobody cares what you're wearing down there.
Right. And I was like, what?
He told me he
can't-
never owned a Def Leppard shirt because he
That's
never
a true
went to the
story.
concert.
I never went
I
to a
was
Def
like,
Leppard
"What?"
concert. Yeah. I would only wear concert shirts of concerts that I actually attended. I got a lot of Metallica shirts, yo. AC/DC, for real. Oh my God. So Craig Hutchinson asked a question. He said, so what camera system is everyone going with? And that's a fair question. Some folks said, like Dennis said, I'm switching insurance. So he's saying basically he doesn't want any camera.
So you know me. I talk about stuff and then don't do it. But I'm still looking at the Falcon Eye.
Right.
And I'm really interested in the Samsara, however you say that. And I'll go ahead and plug it, Charlie. You know, we don't do that. You know, Todd did a really good video on the Samsara. He bought
did.
one. And I'm impressed by that system. It's more expensive than the Falcon Eye. But here's what I like about it. I like the coaching that you can get from it.
Right. Without it going through my carrier.
I do not want Swift seeing that coaching, but I do like the coaching. You know, Charlie and I were talking, you know, when I first got this truck, you know, it was one of the first ones that had the lane departure warning on it. And, you know, I've been driving a while, but man, I got that lane departure warning thing. And I'm like, crap, I've been riding the side of the road all this time. I need to stop that. And it made me a better driver. And the same thing happened to Charlie. So I'm looking at that system as it's got some coaching tools that you can get with it. Swift is not going to have access to because I'm going to buy it myself, and I'm not going to have their insurance. But I'm interested in things that would make me a better driver. I just don't need my carrier managing that.
Craig said he's going to go with the Netrodyne 4-camera system. And look, man, so I like the Falcon Eye. I'm looking for 3 cameras, forward facing and 2 down the side of the truck. But I do have a question about the quality of the video on that system. I really like their system, but I have been noticing lately that people have said, it has trouble picking up license plates at times, and the night vision capabilities of it are a little lacking. So I'm hoping that maybe they'll get some sort of update soon before I finally pull the trigger. Otherwise, I am going to do a little shopping around to see what else is out there. The other systems that are out there are more expensive, like the Sansara. The Sansara for the single camera system is $1,500. Adding the multiple cameras and the rest of the things that I would want, are going to jump that price drastically, I'm sure. I haven't looked at the price on the whole package deal that I would want. So I mean, but look, if the video quality is there, maybe that's the route I go. If we go that route, I mean, we will definitely be talking it up one way or the other and let you guys see what we see. Robert Stoddard said he has a Samsara. So, how's the night vision on it? Does it pick up real well at night? Because, some of them, I mean, you can see okay, but is it good enough that it'll pick up a license plate? Because really, I mean, that's what tends to happen is someone comes by, clips you, and drives away, and they never have the license plate, and that's a bummer, man.
Right. Yeah, and that's I like to say that I prefer to drive days, but the reality of the job is I drive when I need to drive to get the load where it needs to go. And so in my whole career, I figure I drive about half days and half nights. Right. So that night vision is kind of a thing I need to look at.
Right. Craig said he's not getting it. He's not getting the Netrodyne through Swift, and he likes for the same reason Jeff likes Samsara. Their coaching is great as well. The Netrodyne, there's no cost on the camera, just the service. I don't fully understand that part of the statement, so maybe if you could dip into that. Are you saying they send you a camera
and you
don't
own
the camera? Because maybe that's not a bad deal. Something goes wrong with the camera, you just replace it. That might not actually be a bad deal, honestly. Renting the equipment that could wear out, and when they have updates, you would get that. I would assume.
I'd be interested to know what that subscription fee is.
Right. Sue said the highest accidents are from less than 6 months. Highest accidents are from less than 6 months, and those over 5 years. We all get complacent. Stay sharp and protect not only yourself but your family. Wait, at home for you. Oh, waiting at home for you. Look, I can read eventually. Exactly, Sue. You are right. Randy Shackelford said, hey, on the insurance thing, if my truck is in the shop for a couple of weeks and I need a loaner, does that process change if we have our own insurance? No. Yes and no.
Yes and
only in that you need to let Swift know and let the insurance know that you have your own. Well, they will know that you have your own insurance, and you'll let your insurance know that, hey, I'm renting this truck from Swift, and 95% of the trucks that we are now renting in that event are actually from Swift, not IEL. And they need to be listed as the named insured or something like that.
Well, what you're going to want to do too, and we'll have to hammer this out with the division too, Charlie.
Right.
When you do get a loaner or a rental, you're going to need to know what the value of that truck is.
Right.
Because what Tony was saying is, so like for me, I own my truck. I'm going to insure it for $40,000. That's what I'm going to insure my truck for, which will allow me, if I have a total loss, to have a down payment on another truck. If my truck goes to the shop, like if my in-frame in a couple of years takes a year to do, because it does sometimes because of parts, and I end up renting a truck from Swift, I'm going to have to change my policy to fully insure that truck that I'm renting.
Right. For that time that you're renting it. So
right.
It's just a prorated.
And it would be right. And it would be prorated. So it's not like, oh, you have to pay, $500 for the whole month. They're going to prorate it if you only need it for a week. So,
hey, no worries, Rob. That's what we're doing, man. We dig this stuff. Honestly, seriously, it's not that we do it for you guys. I mean, we do, but we do it for us as well. And you guys do things for us. I mean, you guys have turned us on to all kinds. Look, We didn't know about the ES Advantage card. Jeff and
Right.
we did not find this card. That was brought to us by Matt Wright back in the day when we started.
And kicking and screaming too.
Absolutely. He's like, you idiots, this is such a good deal. And we're like, fine, let us look at it.
And he actually gave us the numbers. You know how we're always
Yeah.
saying, show us the numbers? He showed us the numbers. And we're like, wow, we're
He
idiots.
damn sure did. And we switched it in less than a week. we made that swap. So yeah, I mean, dude, we use the word community and we believe in the word community. That is what we're building. That is what we consider ourselves, you guys included. You know, that's why we have people like Sue Smith. You know, that's why we bring in these people that we bring in, you know, Jeff Reese, you know, Brett Stewart. We have Adam Miller and Jim Fitzsimmons coming in at the end of the month. I think it's the 28th of February I have on the schedule for. You know, they're going to come talk about some numbers that I'm interested in, and I hope some of you are interested in. You know, things like that. You know, that we are building a community, you guys, and that's what we want to do. That's what we want to focus on, because through community we all do better, right? Safety in numbers and all that kind of stuff, right? And we learn more that way.
Here's a good example. Craig, I'm going to be looking at that camera now.
Seriously. Because Craig said, yes, you just pay for the subscription. They replace it if there's any issues. Yearly subscription is $576 or $660, depending on which camera you get. I did not know that. Yeah. Like, seriously, I didn't even dip into that camera because I was just so not getting one of those cameras to start with. And yeah, I just, you know, so I mean, that's something I'm definitely going to look into now.
Oh, I just got a text from Sue Smith. We are allowed to tell people what her new role in the company is at this point.
Oh, hey now, Sue got promotion. Sue got promotion. She is Omar Higgins' replacement.
Yep.
She is now the East Coast contact for the, she is an OOFC. That is an owner, operator, fleet consultant. I did it. I remembered it. Boy, that's hard. I don't know why, but it's not as cool as an ULA. But whatever. Oofa. No, oofk.
Oofk.
Wait, can we just call her Sue Oofk? That could be fun.
So what our hope is, by the way, because Charley, I've been talking about this since we found out about it, is so the OOFCs are not actually supposed to be owner-operator planners.
Right, that's supposed to be a minor part.
That's such a minor part of what they're supposed to be doing. And if we know Sue, she is going to insist that she is an actual bona fide OOFC. And you might see some good things happening.
We're hoping. She's hoping. We're hoping. Everybody's hoping. Let's see what happens. JDNS. This is a fair question. Why drivers don't want cameras? That's a tool to protect you and your business. It's a must-have. We are not anti-camera. Most of us are not anti-camera. What we are is we don't want our customer having control of our camera. Almost all of us have our own cameras in our trucks that our carrier does not have control of and access to. It's not that we're hiding. It's that I don't feel it's their business.
So there's this, I'm assuming JDNS that you're one of our newer guys or not contracted to Swift. So there's a history here.
Right.
Of, I'll just come out and say it because there's no nice way to do this, Charley. Swift does this coaching, not coaching thing with owner operators. So because of the AB5 California type laws that are in a lot of states now, they can't officially tell us what to do. They cannot coach us, right? Because we own our own businesses. We don't work for them. But what they can do is, quote, look for patterns of misbehavior, which could put our contract in jeopardy. So I don't want them looking over my shoulder. I have a camera to protect me liability-wise, absolutely. But I do not want my customer, because that's what Swift is, they're my customer, over my shoulder like that. I mean, you know, I've been driving for 15 years and I've had one accident that was totally, I mean, those of you that knew me back then, it was before we had Contractors Corner, probably saw the pictures of the one accident I had. And it was pretty bad. It could have been a lot worse. Totally my fault. And I own it. You know, I should have stopped driving and I didn't. It was icy. and I ended up in a ditch. And that's the thing. Like Sue was saying, I'd been driving for about 9-10 years at this point. So yeah, it was definitely that. Oh, I can make that next truck stop. I shouldn't have tried, right? But
Right.
you know, that's on me as the business owner to correct that behavior myself. And yeah, I just don't want Swift in my truck. So I said that to say this. So in 15 years, one accident, I know what happened. I fixed it. Move on, right? I'm a pretty safe driver. I'm a pretty safe bet for insurance companies. Why do I need Swift coaching me? I
Right.
don't. So there you go.
Give me 1 second. I'm doing something silly in the background that you'll enjoy, I think.
Okay.
Oh, there was some other stuff that popped up on there.
Craig's
yeah,
gonna post the info on that camera in the Contractors Corner group, so that'll be cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. Someone else was saying that even on the Samsara, it's for the 3 years of a subscription. You're not actually buying the camera from them either.
Really?
Mike Henderson was saying that. Yeah.
Okay.
So this might be a totally, we've been dealing with this insurance thing nonstop since December, and so we know that we want to look at the different camera systems now that we know a little bit more capabilities. We just haven't had the time to actually do it. So
Right. And again, it's not that we're anti-camera, because we are absolutely pro-camera, because it covers you. It covers everyone involved, Swift, us, the general motoring public.
Yep.
So yeah, please don't think that that's what we're saying, because that is absolutely not. We just don't want our customer being the one that's doing the coaching, because that just seems like a weird.
right, and you just heard me say that one of the things I liked about the Samsara, from what I've seen of it so far, is the coaching tools. I would pay the subscription for those coaching tools, but I don't want my customer coaching me. I'll let whatever program they have them help me be a better driver, you know. But
Look,
yeah,
I'm all ready for the next time Sue's on the show.
there you go.
Sue, is that correct?
Hey,
I believe that's correct.
hey Sue, this does not get you out of having you live on the show with prospective and new owner operators that we need to have you
Right?
grill.
Or Vegas. Just saying.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, now that you're an OOFC, you have to go to Vegas because you're officially management now.
Yeah, we're expanding your speaking time now. You're welcome.
Yeah, you got half the day now.
Oh Lord. Vegas is going to be, look, okay, it's the first Tuesday or Wednesday. It is, wait, I gotta look. I gotta scroll because I don't know how to use things.
Well, we need to book the room first, and then we'll know exactly which day it is.
Right. It's either April 4th or April 5th. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right.
We are still working on it. It's weird logistic stuff that we are still sorting out. We apologize.
What we're looking at right now is getting a conference room at the Nugget.
Right.
And that's what we're working on right now. That way we have a legitimate, like last year was just basically a vacation, but this year, you guys we're gonna charge this year. We're gonna have an actual conference room this year, and so everything on that trip you should be able to tax deduct except the gambling.
Right.
So there you go. And we're planning on having Sue there to talk about her experiences, and those of you that want to grow a small fleet, take advantage of the time you have with her while she's there.
Right. We're going to be trying to do some breakout sessions with anyone who wants to sit down and actually go over and crunch some hard numbers and have real conversations about what could be done, what you're doing right, what maybe you could work on, things like that. Based on our experience. We are not financial planners. We're not tax advisors. What we can do is help coach you based on the experience we have, things like that. So take that for what it's worth, because someone will yell at you, oh, they're tax advisors now, they're financial experts. No,
but I can't teach
we
you
are
how
trucking experts.
But I can teach you how to read a profit and loss statement and understand it.
Right. And
so
that's
that you
something
can
a
start
lot of people don't know
tracking,
how to do.
so that you can start tracking your numbers and say, oh, look, I did this much this month. Last year, this month, I did this much. I'm doing better this year. Or
Right.
what went wrong? I didn't do quite as good this year. And you could, that's the type of stuff, guys, that I actually kind of get excited about, because when I'm looking at my stuff, I'm like, gosh, what happened this month? Oh, yeah, I went home for 2
Right.
weeks instead of 1. You don't make money when you're not rolling, dumbass.
Look, I started this week. Look, I legit started this week $4,000 in the hole on Thursday morning.
Mhm.
My settlement was $4,000 in the negative. And when it closes on Thursday, I will have a positive settlement of $425 or $475. Can't remember the number now, but I was excited.
And that's Jeff math, right?
That's Jeff math. So money is still going into my maintenance account. Did not count that as my money like I normally do. That is Jeff math. So yeah, like a legit profit, not a great profit, but I'm also not in the hole, and it only took me the week to do it.
Right. And that's the thing too, if you start paying more attention to your numbers, guys, you start to make decisions instead of reacting to events.
And that was without throwing money out of my maintenance account in there to cover the loss.
Right.
That is all miles covering my 4K deficit.
Right.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot to spend this week, that's for sure, 425 or 475, but I am no longer in the hole, and I
at least
to climb back out on that thing next week, so I'm gold.
At least you didn't have to go kill a snake, dress it, and freeze it, and so
right?
you could eat it while you were on the road.
And that's just, I mean, it was a conscious decision. Could I have thrown money out of my maintenance account to cover it? Sure. Could I have pulled money from other places? Sure. But I didn't have to. I simply went out. Rosie and I worked, and we shopped for fuel, and we got the absolute lowest prices we could find for the week. And we did that thing this week. We ran our business, and we ran the hell out of our business this week, and we did well.
Mm-hmm.
And coming out, I wasn't sure I was going to come out on the positive. I thought I was still just a couple bucks short. And then when I did the math this morning, I was like, woohoo!
Right.
Because I did not want to track it every day this week, because I didn't want to torture myself. So I waited till we finished our week, and that's where it worked out. So yeah, it was something else. Exactly. Dennis said he was hoping he can still go. Sue Smith said, Dennis, no hoping. Make it happen and plan.
Yeah, so our anticipated, by the way, the seats will be limited, guys, for the space that we can get. It's looking like 40 seats.
Right.
Is what we'll have. So that's, potentially 40 trucks. There'll be a couple of teams that go, so maybe 30 trucks worth of people. Work with the planners in the weeks leading up to it and say, I need to be in Vegas on this date.
Right.
That's how you do that.
Yeah, don't do anything silly like I did last year and like drive halfway across the country bobtail, because that's not profitable.
It's easy for me. I live in West Valley, around the Salt Lake area. So I just bobtailed down. That was only like 500 miles.
Right.
And then Charley convinced me, hey, let's bobtail down to Phoenix and have some meetings. So my 500-mile bobtail turned into 1,000 miles.
Right.
And my wife was like, wait. You did what? I'm like, don't worry about it.
You spent what in Vegas? And then you did what? Yeah, it was awesome. We had a good time. It was fun.
Saw some cool bands.
Talked to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Did business. Had fun. It was awesome.
Yeah, one of the coolest things, Charley, to me was that dude that we met on the bus.
Right?
Just out of nowhere. You meet people in Vegas, right? Because everybody's kind of friendly because they're on vacation,
And I talked to everybody.
Talking to this guy, and it turns out that he was getting ready to retire from his business that he had done for years and years. So we started talking about business, and we told him about our business, and it was just a really good conversation about business.
Right. Like for real. Like this guy was like billions of dollars type business. I don't know. It was like definitely millions of dollars type of business. And we're talking about our one truck operations and that. And it was cool because so much, it all is business. It's all business, right? So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yep. So yeah.
So yeah, Ken Kelly said I'd like to be there, but like last year, I'll be in Thailand looking at houses again. Ken Kelly, that man's got a plan. He's doing some things.
Yes, he
in life.
does.
So, Life on 18 Wheels, what happened to the Point app? It was down for some time. I know the portal was completely foobar since like Friday. Don't know what happened to it. I do know that they got it fixed today, and that was all. Yeah, it was like a thing, man. Yeah, but they did get it squared away. I didn't see any problems with the Point app.
There was a problem with people getting to the to Swift University from the Point app. I saw that on there.
Yeah, that I heard. I heard that part.
Oh, that's another thing too. So in our conversations with Tony over the last 3 or 4 months, so this dude, he doesn't. Just so you guys know, he doesn't just do insurance. The guy owns a farm. He used to own his own carrier.
Yeah,
So he
just
knows the
got rid of
trucking
that.
industry. He just sold out of that. But some of the stuff that he's been advising Charley and I on is, hey, are you guys doing this? You know, if you ever get audited, you need to be able to show you do this. So there's things every year that even as an LLC, not necessarily an S corp, but if you are if you are an LLC, did you do your annual meeting last year? Did you do this?
Right.
Did you do that? He started going over all this stuff, and I'm like,
Right.
no.
We're like, don't
And
talk
one
to
of the
me no
things
more.
that one of the things he was talking about was the documents. The platform he has for keeping your documents in order. And I got to tell you, when I formed my S corp, I was looking into all that stuff because you have to have document control now if you're an LLC. And his offering just from having insurance through his insurance firm will take care of that for you. By the way, it's much more service than just the insurance that we're getting from him. It's kind of it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm impressed by the man entirely.
Yeah, and so we're actually learning a lot about business from Tony. Like we've learned so much about insurance, it's ridiculous. Like more than we ever wanted to know. I promise you that.
Right.
But we've actually been picking up these nuggets about business that we just never even thought about, and then we turn around and share them with you guys. And then when you guys learn new stuff, you guys share them with us, and we're like, hey, that's awesome. Or like we're like, nah, maybe check your stuff here. That's what we're talking about. That's the community we're talking about. It is that community that we're building, and it is not the community without you guys. We're just the jokesters on the screen and the guys, the guy holding the cigar and all that nonsense, man. But make no mistake, we know what this is. We know that without you guys, we're just two guys talking on video, and it's just me and Jeff talking to each other. So that's why our format is what it is. We are having conversations with each and every one of you, and hopefully, and most of the time we all talk together without arguing. It's pretty cool, I think. Every now and then we'll get some not so happy comments, and that's cool. I mean, we can have a debate. We can, have differences. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean that. One of the things that Charley and I are talking amongst ourselves about a lot is there's only about maybe 1 million different ways to do this business.
Right.
We do. It's like I used to tell my students when I mentored. There's a lot of different ways to make money in trucking. If you do what I'm teaching you, I guarantee you will make a good living. It's not the only way to make a good living,
right?
But I know that what I do works. Right. So, we learn new stuff all the time. The fuel card is the most famous example for the two of us. We screwed that up for a number of years. Just thinking we're paying for convenience. That's fine.
Right.
And it never crossed our mind. Insurance, honestly, if it wasn't for the camera thing, would we be looking at insurance? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
Swift does have some pretty competitive rates. And the last time Charley and I both did look at going outside of Swift for insurance years ago. And my experience was I couldn't find a better rate.
Right.
OIDA, but Swift wouldn't accept OIDA insurance back then because of some stuff.
Ancient war they've had going on, but apparently that's not there anymore. But
So,
hey, just to recap, we did get an insurance deal made, you guys. If in case you missed it, to get some further information on this, You can go to you can call the number tomorrow morning that's scrolling across the bottom of your screen. They will be able to give you specific rates based on your specific needs. There are many options to choose from and talk about. The number is 800-366-6466. And if needed, you even have Tony's cell phone number. That's 952-367-6726. He does not have voicemail. Don't plan on leaving a voicemail, but he will call you back. The man spends way too much time on the phone, but he will call you back.
To get the deal that was talked about earlier in the show, you have to mention Contractor's Corner.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll go in general population.
And you will not get the rate that he got for us.
Get the rate that he got for Swift Contractors. So
he really worked hard at getting the discounted rates that he did get for us. So it's important that you mention Contractor's Corner. There's a lot of work that went into this from Jeff and I, from Tony, from Jeff Reese. A lot of people have really helped us out get this stuff going. We've caught a lot of static for not just jumping out and recommending, this insurance or that insurance, and that's fine. I mean, look, whatever, people made their decisions. We didn't tell anybody not to get it. Any other insurance. I know people that got OIDA. I know people that got True North. We know people that got some other options and things like that. That's fine. We just wanted to come to you guys with as many options as we could, and we wanted to see if we could get something built specifically for our folks. And that's what we got. And It is comparable. It is not the cheapest rate out there. It's not. That's real. Could you get cheaper through OIDA? Absolutely. Could you pay more through True North? Yep. But I can tell you that the coverage we're getting through Tony Dennis and the companies that he worked these deals with, the coverage we got is far better. The customer service that we'll get over the long term will be far better, and we will be covered far more complete than you will with any other insurance package out there that I've seen. That is what I'm saying. That is my official stance. That is the insurance I sent to Swift. My insurance was canceled today. Well, officially it'll be canceled on the 16th. But my cancellation is in for the Swift insurance. My new insurance takes effect on the 16th, which is this Thursday on the new pay cycle. And that's the way I wanted it to happen. So nobody had to adjust any numbers or anything. They just simply cut it off. So, yeah. Let's see. Aces, having another 3 from. Sorry, Mike. Mike said Swift is having another 3 and 4 million mile thing in Phoenix in April. Also, sadly, I have to miss both because my family's going to South Padre for a week in April. Hey, man.
Hey, I take family. I take family over business any day.
Right. Randy Shackelford asked, Charlie, you run Target RDC out of Phoenix, right? Nope. I run FDC out of Lake City, Florida. He said he might reach out and see what I can get worked out for Vegas. Yeah, I do FDC out of Lake City when I'm doing it.
Randy, if you're running out of Phoenix, did he say he was running out of Phoenix? Set up there which one he was running out of. If you are running out of Phoenix, just grab a Costco load that delivers in Vegas.
He's in the FDC out of Denton, Texas.
Oh, okay.
That's the food distribution center. He does the same thing I do, refrigerated, delivering groceries. Wimpy McPote said, good show. Thank you, man. We're trying, brother. Bear Hunter said, Randy, you are aware when FTC is slow and you really need to roll, they will reach out to OTR and try to get you a load, right? You don't always have to sit. There you go. And yeah, that's not necessarily the case over on our side. So there you go. I know quite a few guys that sit and get mad. Be proactive. Talk to people, guys.
Speaking of proactive.
Yes.
There was a post in the other Swift owners group that I thought I would mention. So we had an owner that was broke down in California. They told her 2 weeks to get parts.
Oof.
Do you think that she sat there and just took it? No, she started making phone calls. And she found her parts in Ohio. And that dealership shipped them to Swift.
Nice.
They're on their way right now. So, that's a good example of one of the things we talk about. Be proactive, guys. The Swift shops, especially if you're on one of those MRPs, you have to use them, I guess.
Right.
But they not exactly the most proactive people on the planet. And when you're faced with a 2-week downtime, start making phone calls. See if you can find
Hell
parts.
yeah.
Because dealerships will ship to the Swift shop from anywhere.
Yep.
All they care about is that they sold that part.
Right.
So
Hell. It's awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's again being proactive, taking charge of your business. You guys, if you guys have any questions, throw them up, man. We'll get to them. We're kind of at our 2-hour mark. By all means, if you want to throw something at us, throw it at us. We're here. Whatever you got, we can answer. I know we talked a lot about insurance and that sort of thing, but if you got something else you want to ask, sometimes we get new people that have questions that aren't about what we're talking about that day, and that's cool, man. We want to get to those too. By all means, and if for some reason you're watching this on the replay and you didn't catch us live, by all means throw questions in the comments down below. We'll I'll try and get some more information on the insurance stuff in the what's it called, the show notes or the, I can't think of the word, I can't think of what it's called, it's not the comment section, but the about this show, and it will be there. And yeah. You guys are when you want to talk about something, that's what we talk about. We could come in here talking about, we're going to talk about the food distribution center in Lake City today, and you guys are like, no, we ain't having that. We're going to talk about anything but that today.
let's put that up there. Maybe we'll leave it there.
Oh, Barb W
Shelter.
said, hey guys, heads up, don't go through Tucson next 12 hours. I-10 is closed both directions. Culp Road to Valencia. Hazmat spill. Shelter in place, 1 mile radius. Don't go there.
I don't even want to know what spilled. That's
right.
That's some heavy duty something.
Here you go, Jeff. Anthony McHugh asks, can you give a practical example of knowing your numbers? I'm just getting it with general terms.
So knowing your numbers, like just start with what's your actual profit per week, what's your actual profit for the month and the quarter. Start looking at things in those terms, and then start looking at what does it cost to run your truck, what does your fuel cost per mile, what does your insurance cost per mile. All those fixed costs are pretty simple. Most of us run about the same mileage each week, so after a while you get a feel for what those numbers are going to be. Here lately, my profit and loss statements have been kind of wonky, which I've talked about that a little bit, which is why we're looking at other accounting services. So I'm having to do the numbers by hand, which sucks. But if your fuel, I can tell you this: if your fuel cost is like 80 cents a mile, you need to work on that. Should be
real.
It should be below 60. You should know, like, my truck averages a profit of $1.02 a mile right now. With a paid for truck, that's pretty easy to do, by the way.
Yeah.
Even at low mileages.
That's after all expenses, not counting taxes.
Right. Once you get into more of the big leagues, like I run payroll because I'm an S corp. I started looking at my profit for the business, which would be after payroll and everything.
Right.
As being, so Charley and I started looking at it this way, about a year ago?
Right.
And so we started talking about our profit in terms of, hey, business profit this week was $100. But if I tell you that, right, you're going to be like, how the hell are you living on that? Well, I paid myself 68 cents a mile, right? So that's the business profit. And as you evolve through this numbers game, you start moving away from, what are you taking home, right? What are you putting into the home bank account, and looking at how profitable is your business. Are you putting money back into the business? Are you saving for an in-frame like I'm doing? Are you just trying to get back to no payments like Charley, right? What's your business profit after everything, including you pay yourself?
Right.
And so what I judge my business by is $500 a week business profit. I'm happy with that. If I go below that, I have to reevaluate. What did I do wrong this week? Did I not fuel properly? Did I, like Charlie and I were just talking, I had one of those screw it days the other day,
Right.
right? And I paid $4.89 for fuel in Pennsylvania.
It made me hurt.
And you know what? It was just one of those days. I knew it.
I paid $3.88 the same day.
There was no reason to complain to Charlie about it other than I told him I had a just screw it day. I was done.
Right.
Right. But as a result, my business profit this week is lower than it should be. But I know why, because I know my numbers.
Right.
Is there a formula? I hesitate.
We could walk you through the math at some point, Anthony,
right.
But it's something more than we would need to do here. It's
right.
something that we would need to do with you on a one-on-one, whether it's on the phone or a one-on-one video, Jeff and I together, something like that, or in person is the easiest way.
And with that, Charlie just saved me.
Yeah. Right. Because trying to explain it on here, we'll start to get a weird.
I'll tell you this, Anthony. There is a step-by-step, but like Charlie said, this is about a 2-hour-long conversation, at least. You know, the last one I did, I was on the phone for my son. Actually timed it because he wanted to go do something for 2.5 hours with a guy going over his numbers, and it was a good conversation that ended with me saying, dude, it looks like you know what you're doing and you have a plan.
Right.
Keep doing it. The conversation doesn't always go that way, so be prepared. If you ask us for this kind of help, you may or may not walk away feeling good.
We're not being mean.
But you will walk away with a plan.
Right.
Something to work on. So, and this is stuff that Charlie and I had to learn on our own over the years.
Banging our faces against the steering wheel repeatedly a lot.
Yeah, we didn't have a Sue. So,
hey, Life on 18 Wheels, the FTC in Lake City. If you're a solo, it's a bad idea. Just going to throw it out there. If you're a team, it's not horrible. You can do fairly well, seriously. Particularly if you're not like me going home every week, because I do come home every week. I come home every Monday night so that I'm at the house so I can do the show on Tuesday, and I catch so much crap for this.
And he leaves on Wednesday afternoon.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's a thing. So
he gets so guys, during the week he gets crap from me because we'll be talking about the Contractor's Corner stuff, and I'd be like, well, don't you have Rosie's laptop with you? And he's like, no, why would I have that? So you can do this stuff while you're on the road, dude.
Yeah, but it's hard because look, I usually start my day around 5-ish in the morning, like legit, and I start making store delivery shortly after that, and then I run my full 14-hour clock. My 14-hour clock is run almost every day doing what I do, the way that we do it. And so, I mean, it's tough when I'm on the road. I mean, I've got a ton of time to talk on the phone and run numbers that way with people. And Jeff and I talk on the phone a lot, and I speak to a lot of people that way. That's cool. It's hard for me to sit down when I'm actually working and run hard numbers like that we're talking about. So it is something I had to plan for. And yeah, you just got to be patient and be able to work with us a little bit, and we can make time. There was something else.
How much money do I put aside for maintenance?
Right. Oh, that was the same one. I got it.
I actually do 16 cents, sort of. I do 8 cents into my Swift maintenance account, and I do 8 cents into my Swift maintenance account. I do 8 cents into a savings account. But the Swift maintenance account I don't always use for maintenance. I'll use that to pay my fixed costs when I go home. So all told, on a weekly basis, I put 16 cents in, but the Swift side, I use that to cover my fixed costs when I go home because it's just an easy transfer. I don't have to call Rapid Response and give them my debit card number to pay my insurance and all that.
Right.
Talking to Mr. Bruce Mallison, he recommends that from the time you first get a truck, if you get a brand new truck, used truck, doesn't matter, you put 10 cents a mile into an account and you do not touch that except for maintenance. And
Right.
according to Bruce, if you do that, you will always have enough money to cover your maintenance all the way up to when you need an in-frame, as long as you don't touch it for anything other than maintenance. Now, how many people do I personally know that have that kind of discipline? Not very many. I've met a few.
I'm not that guy. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, but that is, that's a legit thing. If you're like the reason why I'm putting more than the 10 cents in, and yeah, you have to realize that my fixed costs every week, guys, is only $150.
Right.
So if I go home for 2 weeks, that's $300 out of my maintenance account. Not that big of a deal. But the goal is that by the time I do need that in frame in a couple of years, it's looking like I'm going to have $50,000 and I can just stroke a check for that in frame.
Right. So Anthony said, I'd love that. Thank you. I'm constantly in the shop, so it's been tough lately. Went 4 weeks without pay. And that's
legit.
Yeah, for real. I mean, that is a tough shake, man. And that is a tough stretch to run. Man, I mean, that just sucks. But hopefully, 4 weeks without pay with your truck in the shop, I'm hoping that maybe you had a rental truck in there at some point. And if not, then you need to be looking into that. There are trucks out there available for us to rent. You got to coordinate that with your home terminal, and they can find you something out there and at least get you running. I believe it's 6 cents a mile is what they charge you for that rental fee. So, I mean, at least you can keep making revenue when you're down, and I know it requires you to know that you're going to be down a little bit. So, be proactive. Again, you need to ask them, look, how long are we going to be down, guys? Am I down the week? If so, you need to be making that call that day.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be in a rental that day, if possible. Come back and get your truck in 2 weeks if that's what has to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, your truck was done in a week, but you know what? You're out making money. Keep making that money till you can work your way back to your truck. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Ugh.
Transmission.
He's
that
in a
sucks.
rental now. Good Lord. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It is. And Mike Anderson, you know what? I wish Lancaster had a Sue. I wish everybody had a Sue. He said his DL is nice, but no one in Lancaster has ever understood OOs. And that's something that we're talking to them about.
We're trying to fix that, yeah.
And that is something Sue's going to work on in her new position, because she is no longer an OOC. She is an OOFC. And part of their job description is getting OOC squared away and trained.
Mm-hmm.
And she has proven that she can do that because she has trained multiples now at Ocala, and Ocala is working on building a larger owner-operator fleet, and they have dedicated OOCs. And soon they should have, absolutely dedicated OOCs. I think some of them are still got a couple of company guys, but they are absolutely being trained to be OOCs, not driver leaders, but OOCs, because the model is completely different.
Yep. And those of you who don't know Ken, he is absolutely that guy. That dude runs his business. We don't agree on 100% of stuff. You never do.
Right.
But one thing I can say about Ken, he runs a damn profitable business.
Absolutely.
So when you guys that are in the private Facebook group for Contractors Corner, when you see him say something, you might want to listen.
Yeah. And ask questions.
Yep.
He's a grumpy old bastard, but we love the hell out of him. Seriously. Like we have butted heads, and people think we are absolutely ready to just take our shirts off and throw knuckles, but that is not the case. Yep. We have differences of opinion, and we will talk them out. And that's just how it is. We're grown-ass men.
And, that's one of the nice things about the way we handle conflict in the Facebooks. When we're arguing with someone, for lack of a better term, I never feel like I'm really arguing, Charlie. I feel like I'm making my point. But, a lot of what we do, some of these guys will say, oh, you're not changing my mind. I'm like, yeah, didn't think I was. I'm making my comments so that the people in the peanut gallery that are watching this can see 2 points of view and make their own choice.
Right.
Because a lot of times, like with a guy like Ken, it's not that what I do works and what he does doesn't work, or what he does works and what I do doesn't work. It's two different ways of doing things.
Right.
Now you've seen both. Choose something. Choose which one you want to try next.
So Anthony said 15,000 in shop charges, only had the truck 6 months, still waiting to see what the training's going to cost. And then he followed up with this is a good question. What do you guys do when you get a load offer you don't like? Well, we run the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Every load, run the numbers.
Every load. Yep.
In OTR land, it's all about the numbers. Look, in my dedicated world on Target, I literally don't even look at the loads. I open
Just
my eyes and find the green button and I hit accept. I don't know where I'm going until I wake up, a little bit later. In OTR land, in the real world, I look at every load and run numbers, man. And if it's heavy, okay, I put that into my calculus. So it's going to cost me extra here or there. I'm going to have to slow down a little bit to offset some of the fuel costs. Can I still make the times, things like that. And if I need to counter, I need to counter. If I need to call somebody and say, hey, what can we do differently with this load? Can we add some time? Is there anything available differently? Here's what I need. What can I do for you to help you help me? Right. These are like legit conversations you can have with these people, and you should absolutely be doing that. Well, he also said, right now with the limited loads, is there much of a choice?
And again, so if you've been watching this show for very long, like last winter, November or something like that,
right?
There was a big controversy because Jeff, went to Oregon.
Right.
Why did Jeff go to Oregon after preaching don't go to Oregon for months and months and months? Well, because that's what was available. I ran the numbers and I figured out that it was profitable. Not as profitable as going to California or anywhere else on the planet other than Oregon, but that's what was available that week. Like literally, that was it. And so I took it. And then I got myself down to LA, and then I went east from there. So,
right.
I do things that I would prefer not to do for the sake of a smaller profit maybe than I would like.
Right.
But this is better than zero.
Or not making money at all.
Right.
Because remember, if you're not making money, you're actually losing money. Let's just be real about this. Your truck is still costing you money every day, whether you're running or not.
Yep.
That's the reality. So you gotta consider that. What are you losing every day by not running?
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what the numbers are these days, Charlie, but I remember years ago the bean counters at Swift had figured out, and that they would tell you this as a mentor, mainly. Every day that a company truck sits costs Swift $500 per day, and they calculated that in the cost of the truck lease, not moving, and this and that, and all sorts of factors. So Charlie's fans are saying that it costs him $1,000 a day.
Right. That's because my simple napkin math. Right.
He runs a team, so that's legit. And that's not the profit that lost. That's just gross receipts. That's his revenue loss.
Lost revenue. Wait, I actually have a new number, Jeff.
Do you? Did you recalculate?
I sat down and thought it out. Average solo guy with a lease truck, right? And figured on 120. I think it was 125,000 miles a year. Broke down to 450 miles a day. And with it was about 2 weeks ago, factoring in that week's fuel surcharge, I came up with a number of $750 a day in lost revenue for a solo guy not running at least 450 miles a day.
There you go.
So for a team, it's an easy double for a real team, not like a Rosie and I team. We run a little more closer to super solo in the way that we operate most times. When we do go OTR, we do tend to run more real team freight. But yeah, so I mean, it just is what it is. There was something I wanted to catch here.
Yeah, Ken made a good point here too. There we go again.
I know, fighting over the clicky.
And if you're stacked, run the numbers on the whole stack. Don't miss one load that you may not like. You could lose a stack. If
right.
The stack works with the numbers personally, I would do it. And I used to do this all the time in the Northeast when I would find myself there. They'd have these really crappy loads, like from Jonestown, Pennsylvania to Newark, New Jersey. Those paint loads. Was it
Right.
We paint the world guys? Those guys. Now
Yeah.
you pick up an empty trailer there, take it down to their production plant, pick up a loaded trailer, and bring it back. And that was 250 miles or something like that each way. Kind of crappy loads. But you know what I got out of that? So where do you want to go after you do this? Because we really need this done. I don't know. What do you got? Well, the furthest
Right.
one we got goes from Mechanicsburg to West Valley City. Okay, I'll do that.
Right.
So you do the one that you don't want to do to get the one that pays. And when freight's better than it is now, I would say, because right now it is tough. We've been talking about it for months now. It's tough. But on these 200-300 mile loads, I would say, I don't mind doing it if you have something with legs to back it up with.
Right.
And they would come back with a stack because they needed that short one done. But that's when freight's a little better than it is now, admittedly.
But even not too long ago, Jeff actually had that conversation with a planner. I can't remember where the hell it was or how long. It was just a few weeks ago.
Oh, it was when I was down in your area, actually.
And it worked out for him.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, by all means, let's see what we can work out. And Anthony, to answer your question, Anthony's asking, when do you guys think loads will get back to being good? Quotes good. I like that. Sounds like there's supposed to be an upturn in freight. So one thing I will touch out on the data IQ today, we are looking at kind of a bottoming out. We've seen the bottom. We are going to be looking at another little dip back to that bottom again, probably into March. But what they didn't show on their chart was right where the chart ended is where they actually expect to start its seasonal climb back out. And this is part of our normal cycle. And that should be the climb that we start seeing everything turning around for dry van. I'm not going to speak to reef or flatbed right now because I just don't have that data in my head. But speaking about dry van, because that's what most of our people are doing, the climb will start coming out end of March. So, and we're going to be talking to Adam Miller and Jim Fitzsimmons about these very things. What is this quarter? How has this quarter been? The 28th of February. How has this quarter been? What's the next quarter look like? What's the next year? What's the next 5-year plan looking like? What can we anticipate from what they're seeing? These are things that we as business owners need to start paying attention to. And if you're not already, hey, Eric, good to see you, buddy. It's been a minute, man. And so, yeah, it's important to learn as much as you can about the business that you're trying to run, because the more you learn, the more you know, the better decisions you can make. And it's all about making informed decisions to further your business. And, with that, I mean, that's the key to the entire thing. If you can't do that, then we maybe we need to talk, But if you guys got anything else, please throw them at us. If not, we're going to wrap this thing. We are definitely over our 2 hours, and we do appreciate you guys being here. It's weird that we went over 2 hours. And the reason we try to keep it at 2 hours is when we do switch platforms later on is we may have some limitations. So we're trying to keep everybody and make sure we get our stuff done. But we dig the questions, and I think it's been a good conversation. And so I am digging that for sure. So last call for questions, you guys. If you got anything you want us to touch on real quick, we will do that. Like I said, I'll try and get some information in the show notes after this. Just bear with me a little bit. I'll try and get some stuff up on Facebook, or Jeff will. One of us will, and we'll get some information up there.
So I love doing this, especially on ERF.
Wait, Anthony asked, is it better to do multiple short runs at a higher per mile rate, assuming the line up right, or one long run?
Right. And I love doing the shorter runs as long as they stack and I still get my 500 to 600 miles a day.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially on ERF, if you guys live east of 35, look into the ERF because it pays more. I've been doing kind of an experiment, even though I live in Utah. I just make sure I get over here. I just make sure that I get over here so that I'm meeting my contractual obligation to be here. and I run over here for a month or two, and then I go home. And it's totally been worth it.
Right.
You know, a lot of the loads are the under 500-mile loads, but they pay more, right? And it's been working out. But you got to make sure that you're still getting a decent amount of mileage per day, or it doesn't pay.
Right.
You know, like this tour, I've been averaging about 600-mile loads. So that's a day of driving, drop and hook, pick up another one, day of driving, drop and hook, pick up another one, you know. And then like this last one was all the way from North Carolina to Laredo,
Right.
which was cool because I'm trying to get home anyway. And this is right on the edge of the ERF, by the way. In order to be on the ERF contract, you need to spend most of your time east of that I-35. So my next load that I'm picking up on Thursday is going to Reno, which hopefully I get something from Reno back to Salt Lake City, and I'll take my home time. So there you go.
Bear Hunter said good night, hugs.
Oh,
Is this like a slow embrace that's awkwardly silent, or is this like a man slapper? Sorry, I had to ask that. Be careful, Sean.
you know, having met him, I'm thinking it's the backslapper.
I'm seeing, and I'm gonna hold on and make it awkward because you know me. It's gonna happen.
So yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So long answer short, yes. If they line up, and if you know, the perfect scenario, honestly, is like running the Walmart surges. I was doing 2 loads a day, 2 stops, 2 stores, and a backhaul on each load. They were 250 miles round trip. So I got the higher mileage pay, I got the stop pay, and the insanely low fuel price all at the same time.
Right.
And I did that for what, 3 months straight, Charlie?
Yeah.
You know, doing almost exactly 500 miles a day, but it was 2 250-mile runs.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, I would get back to the DC and I would be at 1 minute left on my clock.
But slaying it financially.
Yeah. Yeah.
His numbers made my head hurt. It was awesome.
I was making per mile profit what Charley was making running solo.
Right.
With a payment when he didn't have a payment.
Right. He was doing really well because of the way he was running, but he was busting his tail. Every day he was tired. He was done.
By the time I went home, it was kind of because Charley said, dude, you need to go home because you're being a dick.
Right. And he like bobtailed home. He bobtailed home from Opelika, Alabama. Just saying. Mm-hmm. It was time to go.
And it didn't hurt. And it didn't hurt because I'd made so much money in that 3 months.
Right.
So that's, again, you know, getting back to know your numbers. I knew what it was going to cost me to bobtail home. Right. Now, admittedly, I wouldn't not have normally gone that far, but I had a family emergency. And thank goodness I'd made all that money because I really just needed to go home.
Right.
So I was able to go home and you know, I was home for a month and didn't worry about money. I just took care of what I needed to take care of for the family.
Yeah. And that's what it's about.
You slay it, and then you can do things like that. Like, you know, again, knowing your numbers, I spent 32 days home for Christmas this year. A little bit of a stretch. I'm not going to lie. I probably should have gone out a week earlier than I did, but I didn't want to.
Right.
And that's my privilege as a business owner.
But he remodeled his truck too.
Yeah, I did. Got it mostly done. Helped with family stuff and just really enjoyed the family for a month. And now I'm out making money again. So.
And Andrew, to answer your question, you said just got here not long ago. Do we get any thing for trip leasing on MRP? We'll review the video later. So last week, actually, Brett jumped in. Well, Brett sent me a text message, and I answered that question. On the MRP, you can absolutely trip lease. You need to get with Becky Campbell at the owner-op division, and she can explain to you the requirements of that, what you need to do to be able to do that with the MRP lease. There are some requirements you need to meet, and because you still got to make that MRP maintenance account stuff happen, and they have a way to do that they're working it out. So yeah, there's a way to do that, man. So you can absolutely do that. Ken Kelly's out. He's got to go deal with rush hour because his load is ready, of course, at rush hour. Robert Stoddard said anything on the load board. Our meetings for the load board, unfortunately, fall on Wednesdays. So we don't have anything this week, and we didn't have a meeting last Wednesday. I will try and get some information up tomorrow about the meeting if I can up in the group. That's
We can.
about the best
I can tell you since I'm actually using it, Charlie.
Right.
It did
Good
go
for you.
down for about a day last week. But
Right.
they got it back up pretty quick. It's working. You know, what we need to ask tomorrow, Charlie, is where they're at with their ramp up schedule, because they were saying a couple of weeks ago they were going to start adding 10 owners a week to it.
Right.
But we haven't seen that yet.
Well,
So
that was
we're
put
kinda
on
wondering,
hold because of the amount of time it takes to actually add people to it.
is that
It's
what it ended up
15
being?
minutes. Yeah, it's 15 minutes to add a contractor. And they would rather not take the coders away from coding to add them to the board. So that is on hold right now. Maybe we'll get some new news on that tomorrow. They are taking people and adding them to the wait list. So if you haven't done that, reach out to Jerry_White at swifttrans.com. Let them know you're interested in getting on the load board as on the wait list, and he will add you to that list. It is absolutely something you can ask for. There's nothing wrong with doing that. He is okay with you reaching out to him and doing that. It is Jerry, Jerry _White, WHITE, at swifttrans.com. Send him an email. Let him know that you're interested in getting on the load board. And as they have room and they start adding people, that's where they're going to start adding people from first. There is already a wait list. They have quite a few people on that wait list, so you're not going to be in the first wave. Be patient. If they tell you that you're on the wait list, then you're on the wait list. And he will respond to you at some point. May take him a couple days. Just be patient. All right, guys. So I think we're going to call it wraps. Thank you so much for hanging with us. I know Jeff is tired. I'm ready for a nap myself, but I still got some work I got to get done on this insurance stuff to post for you guys. So I'm going to get that done so that then I can go chill out and relax and watch some TV. And then I got to go to work tomorrow. Oof.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'll
So,
be off
yeah.
tomorrow. So like, I'll be off tomorrow. I'm doing my reset. So like, Anthony, if you want to shoot me a PM or something, we could go over some stuff tomorrow if you got time.
Are you at the Laredo yard?
No, I'm at the TA. I might move to Laredo Yard tomorrow.
There you go. Reach out to Jeff if you're down that area. Want to say hey or whatever.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Every week you guys show up and hang out with us and ask questions and help us learn more ourselves and help us teach people more things. Seriously. I will do my best to get that insurance stuff up as quick as I can. Give me a little bit to get that done. It will be up. We will get some info up tonight. So bear with me. And make sure you start making those calls tomorrow. And so you can get your rate, your price, because I can't tell you what your price is going to be because it's based on your numbers in your truck.
Right.
All right. So think about it, ask questions.
And remember, guys, this is one of those things. You're putting your big boy pants on. This is not coming out of your settlement anymore. So if you don't make your payment, guess what? Just, I mean, some of you guys are like, oh, come on, man. You don't have to tell us that. Well, yeah, we do.
Right.
Because we are all human.
Do yourself a favor. Set aside the amount of money right now that you're paying for insurance. Well, take it out of your settlement immediately. Just set yourself up kind of like an allotment so that you know that every week you're going to put that money in that account. You're not going to touch it. And then you'll have it every month. And you're not going to have to come up with a down payment until you pay your first month's premium right around the first, guys.
Yep.
So there you go. You guys be safe and take care of each other. Remember, it's just us taking care of each other. Look after each other. And Jeff, you got anything last thing?
Nope.
That's Jeff. I'm Charlie. This is Contractor's Corner. We'll be here next. I did it. We'll be here next week on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, like we have been for well over the last year and a half, coming up on 2 years, guys. And we will see you guys soon. Thank you once again. This is Contractor's Corner. Hey, Narc. Just wanted to say that one more time. Y'all have a great night.